Week 7 of the high school football season is upon us, and a lot of people have been looking forward to this game for quite a few weeks. Of course, coaches, players, they're week-to-week people, so we can't talk to them about it until now. I have, however, been pretty much looking forward to this one since about week 3, I would say. Week 4, maybe. Oxford Hills hosting Portland this week, and now looking forward to it even more after last week's big win by the Oxford Hills Vikings. The coach of the Oxford Hills Vikings joins us now on the phone, Mark Soren. Me in the studio, Matty B. Tasker Winslow also here as well. OHCHS grad 2018, right? Yes? I nailed it? Okay, good. Morning, Coach. How you doing?
Morning. Great.
Good. So far, first off, how's this week of practice been for everybody? How's everybody feeling after that Bonnie Eagle game?
Good. I think that clearly that was a great win for us against a very good team, and I think sometimes in the past that would have been kind of a distraction for us because I think we would put pressure on ourselves. But this week has felt pretty normal, to tell you the truth. Sort of felt like another week, which has been a good thing for us.
Did you guys start off the year 2-0? You knock off your two closest rivals, and then you go on the road. And it was funny. I was asked about it after week 2 when I was on TV. I was asked about it. I said, this will tell you a lot about Oxford Hills going down to Sanford and end up going down there, and a couple things happen and end up coming back with the loss. It's a long ride home from Sanford to Oxford Hills. You guys seemed to right the ship the next week against Bangor, and then really I thought came out as kind of a different team on the road against Cheverus. Was there a different approach to the Cheverus game after the Sanford game? Was that a good learning experience for them, you think?
Yeah, I think honestly it probably was the best learning experience for me, because when we came into the year we knew we had some talent. We lost a lot of talent the year before. We also knew we had some kids coming back and some kids returning to the program, and those first 2 games with Lewis and Auburn, who I do think are pretty good teams, we had some pretty good games, and we were throwing the ball around and completing some passes, and so at that point, I think, well, maybe we can throw it around a little bit more. But we've always been a sort of ground game team. The Sanford, it's hard to explain about the Sanford week. One, I thought Sanford played really well. I think they came off two very difficult games, and they were ready to, I think there are some good competitors on that team, and they made some really incredible plays. They made about four plays that could have gone either way, and they made all of them. And we had a, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's just a weird week. That's when Cam broke his leg. Colton was out most of the week with a groin injury, so he didn't practice. We had our bus. We couldn't leave the bus on time on that night. There was no lock. All these things sort of got caught up to us, and I don't think I prepared well for that, and I think we lost a little bit what we were, and we got behind there too, so we started throwing the ball, and we didn't have a great night throwing the ball. We struggled to protect a quarterback, and I thought, the next 2 weeks we got to go back to who we are. We're a running team that can throw, and so we went back to that ground game, and we really put a lot of time into that. And the kids came back really focused. It's some time to adapt to Cameron being out, and we had Yannick move back into that spot, and so the kids, I think, really responded well in that way, and we found ourselves again. And then the Bonnie Eagle game, we came out in the second half, and we had talked about throwing the ball around because we know we can do that. We have great receivers as well as great protection, and we did a good job. So then there was definitely a change after the Sanford game, and it was one of those who are we as a team? It was Bangor and then Cheverus, and I think we kind of figured out hey, we're a running team that can throw the ball.
Talking about the Oxford Hills football coach Mark Soren in advance of their game against Portland. You got a question?
No, I didn't know.
I wasn't sure. If you had a question, you just jump in and ask it.
Yeah,
okay? All right.
I was just listening.
All right, good. All right, that's fine. Anybody can ask questions here. That's why I have the microphones open. That goes for you too, Coach Wing. You're here. I know you're here hanging out. You're good. Everybody's here. I'm like,
he's
all right,
on Twitter.
I'll do it.
He's
it's
on
all
Twitter,
good. He's getting fired up for the show. It's okay. It's all good. We'll talk a little bit about health-wise. How are you guys health-wise after last week? Matching up against Bonnie Eagle usually takes its toll a little bit.
Yeah, pretty good, really. I think, I always ask kids how they're feeling, and they're always feeling a little bit beat up after every game, but there was nothing unusual. We have illness, one of our starting linemen, that he's still trying to fight back into this thing, and but otherwise we're good.
That's good. That's good news. That's and you need that, especially up against a team like Portland. I get to see them up close against Edward Little, and I'll tell you what, this is one of the biggest, toughest Portland teams I think I've seen in a long time. There is there's definitely some hitting at times up there.
Yeah, they play hard, and it never matters Portland's size. They've really been undersized for years, and it doesn't matter. Like, those kids play hard, and they hit hard, and they believe they're going to win every game, and they believe they're better than every team they play, and they play really well, and they do have some size this year. Their offensive line's pretty big, their defensive line's big, and the linebacker crew is big, so and they play fast. So it'll be a great test for us. It should be a very good game.
Talking with Oxford Hills Vikings head football coach Mark Soren, advance of the game against the Portland Bulldogs. Coach went grabbing the microphone. He must have something to say.
Coach, playing at home, seems to me I had teams that I swear they were better going on the road. There were less distractions. You get on the bus, think about the game, and so on. So you're playing at home. I mean, you certainly can make the case that it's your field, your fans will be there. A lot of teams, Portland, they won't bother to come. Their fans won't bother to come to South Paris. Is that an advantage for you or not?
Well, I think so. Our schedule worked out pretty well, actually, this year. We got Bonnie Eagle at home and Portland at home, and Bangor we had at home. The tough one was the Sanford one that clearly affected us in a way, and there's no question that the home field advantage. We've got senior night. We're always, as this program has evolved over the past years, this is year 8 for me, we're always looking at sort of setting new goals and different things that happen throughout the year. And we had, last year was the first year we've ever beaten Portland, and Portland's knocked us out of the playoffs the last 2 years, and we've actually never beaten Portland at home. They've handled us pretty well. So it's one of those things we don't talk a lot about it, but we mentioned to the kids, something to think about. But there's no question that this is a good setup for us. Bonnie Eagle home and Portland home works out pretty well for us.
Coach, I could make the case, I think you and Maddie talked about it a little bit before. Having had good teams a couple of times when I coached, I didn't really want to go into the playoffs undefeated. I think kids end up starting to play not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And I swear, it doesn't feel good at the time, but losing to Sanford, I think probably maybe Maddie already said it. It's a wake-up call.
Yes, I agree. I think that, when we've talked over the years, so losing teams are worried about losing, and mediocre teams are worried about winning, and those really good teams are just there to compete. And I think when you get undefeated and you start thinking you're something, rather than just thinking about playing the game, you start thinking you're something, and you get distracted from it. And I told them at the end of the Sanford game, I said, in the grand scheme of things, this loss isn't a huge loss. It had implications as far as playoffs go. With us beating Bonnie Eagle, it changes a little bit. But really, we were in playoffs. We just needed to find ourselves, and that was, this senior class, has been a class that has won a lot. I would probably admit to you that if we were going undefeated, all of a sudden there's something to prove. And we've got a loss. That's away. We don't have to worry and think about that anymore. And also it did help. Like I said, it did change the way we approach things, and I think that we feel pretty good about the things we can do now.
Talking to the Oxford Hills Vikings head football coach Mark Soren. What is, from a film perspective, what's changed for you from Portland from last year to this year? Of course, Teron Moss at quarterback for them last year, but felt like that run to the Northern A Finals last year really gave this Portland squad a big boost coming into this year.
Yes, they didn't win many games, and they go to the Northern Championship, and I think that's a lot about the history of that program and sort of the cultural piece that's ingrained to them. I don't think that they're phased at all by playoffs or big games. They just go and play. They were relatively young last year. They did lose some talent, but some of their best players were underclassmen. And that some of the size ones. I'm always looking at by number, and the other thing that Portland does really well is they change positions all the time. They right now they're a guard that started to guard the last 2 years is now playing fullback and cornerback. They got 2 transfers in that are now their linebackers. You know, that's changed, and they're able to use Elowich wherever they want now. They can put them outside, you know, inside, back. You know, they can move those guys around, and it doesn't really seem to faze them. They seem to do their jobs no matter where they go. And it's just sort of been a thing that they've always done. You know, they also have low numbers. I think they've had low numbers for years. You're looking at 20-some kids that are varsity, and those kids play on special teams. They rarely come off the field, and you can't tell they're tired. Like, that's just sort of at least what I've seen, like sort of classic Portland. Like, those kids they play the whole game, and they play hard the whole game, and they'll switch positions, they'll switch defenses, and they'll still execute at a high level.
Mark Soren is the head football coach of the Oxford Hills Vikings. Oxford Hills, Portland, this Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Of course, you can find the video stream at mbr.org. Also want to make sure I thank the your family, Mark, because I get a lot of I think I'm number one in high school football streaming in the Dakotas. I believe. I think that's I think sort of measured as.
Honestly, they love it.
That's good to know. It's good to know, Coach. Good luck this week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. That is Oxford Hills football coach Mark Soren here on the Bealist Daily from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners studios across the MBR radio network on the new 105.5 Sports. Looking ahead, of course, you know, we talked about this, week 2, we were talking about this game that's going to be played in Oxford Hills on Friday night as the Portland Bulldogs come to town to battle the Vikings. I got to talk with Oxford Hills Vikings head coach Mark Soren a little bit earlier about the game, about the team, and what he's got. But, you know, the one time I got to see Portland up close this year, they look big, they look physical, they look tough, and I think this is going to be a heck of a matchup on Friday night, and tough road trip for the Bulldogs, who also had to survive a road trip against Bonnie Eagle earlier this year.
Right, it'll be a tough road trip for yours truly as well, so I'm looking forward to coming up and seeing that game. And I haven't been to Oxford in years and years and years, so I have a feeling it's changed from what I remember. But
probably, a little.
Oxford Hills first got on my radar a couple weeks ago when they won decisively at Cheverus. I got to see that game, and I was so impressed with Colton Carson and just the whole team and in the way they pulled away from Cheverus. And Cheverus is probably going to go 6-2 and be the 3 seed, so they're no slouch. But Oxford Hills really made a statement that day, and then they made an even bigger statement last week, obviously, by beating Bonnie Eagle. So they're coming into this game on a high. And then you have a Portland team that I think, at least the first half of the season probably felt like it was going to have an easy road to the 1 seed. And now all of a sudden, that's not the case. So big road test for Portland. Their last big road test, they did not pass, even though they played well at times. There are too many self-inflicted wounds in that earlier loss at Bonnie Eagle. So we'll see how far this team has come. I think this will be a good litmus test for Portland, how they're going to handle being in an enemy venue. And I expect it'll be a good crowd and a great environment up there tomorrow night. And for Portland, they don't do anything tricky. They're going to line up and they're going to try to beat his line of scrimmage with their running game. They'll throw the ball a few times, but for the most part, we're going to give the ball to Zach Elowich or Sam Nope will keep it, or Ben Trefethen, who's now become a big part of the offense. Stop us if you can, kind of thing. And Oxford Hills might have a little more of a diverse attack, but Portland's calling card has been defense for a long time. So I expect this will be a good game. I think it'll be close. I certainly hope it's close in the fourth quarter, and I could really see it going either way.
Talking with Michael Hoff from the Forecast and theforecaster.net.
In the past, Coach Hartman liked to run wing T and almost wing T exclusively, but
right.
I understand he's a little bit more diverse this year.
Well, Portland's always going to be Portland. They will throw the ball occasionally, and they'll put a few wrinkles in there, but it really is a case of a mano-a-mano with them, and they feel like they have the bigger, stronger guys on the line, and they feel like eventually their running game is going to wear you down. So I don't think you're going to see them come out and throw 20 times, no.
And when they do throw, they're going for everything. It's usually a single, like a fade route or a post, something like that. They don't throw a lot of combo routes like that kind of stuff.
No, Ben Stasium is a big downfield threat, and he's a big threat in the return game too. So special teams, we didn't touch on that. And games like this, special teams are often the difference. If he could break one, that might be enough to put Portland over the top.
Talking with Michael Hoffer from The Forecaster and theforecaster.net.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live at the Gwine Athletic Complex in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Video feed at MBR.org for our CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 The Ox between Portland and Oxford Hills. It should be a great showdown between two Class A North powers this season. Both teams entering this game at 5-1 on the year. My name is Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. On both the video and the audio feed, you heard Mark Soren's thoughts, interview with Matty B on the B-List Daily from earlier this week about this big matchup. And Tasker, first of all, Oxford Hills, obviously, last week, we called it. They beat Bonnie Eagle 31-22 right here at the Gwine Athletic Complex. And meanwhile, Portland rolled over Bangor 49-0 last week to set up this matchup of two 5-1 teams. Obviously, Portland's only lost to Bonnie Eagle. Oxford Hills only lost at Stanford. On paper, I mean, this looks fairly even, I think, because Portland, we've seen them play as well. They've looked impressive also this year.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in this game is who comes out more physical, who plays more physical on both sides of the balls down the whole stretch. And, Bonnie Eagle being one of the most physical teams in the state, we saw Portland fall to them and Oxford Hills beat them. So that might show you a little bit of the physicality, who's going to win that battle between Oxford Hills and Portland.
You look at some of the Class A North leaders this year. Well, Portland's got the leader in rushing. Zach Elowich has 106 carries for 761 yards and 11 touchdowns on the season, but Colton Carson not far back. In fact, he's got more rushing touchdowns, 100 carries for 587 yards, and 13 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's tops in Class A North when it comes to rushing touchdowns. And the two quarterbacks, when we mentioned Carson already, he's a runner. He also throws it, of course, 812 passing yards, 5 touchdowns this season. That's second in Class A North in yardage, behind only Edward Little's Leighton Girardin. Meanwhile, Sam Nope for Portland, high completion percentage, 56.60%. That is tops among all Class A North quarterbacks. Doesn't throw it that often, though. 30 of 53 this year for 508 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. He also has been picked off, though, 5 times. He can run it, though. 41 carries, 235 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So these are two teams who, when they need to throw it, they certainly can. And, in fact, Oxford Hills last week, I mean, that's the best passing I've seen from Carson in his career, I thought.
Yeah, they came out and after halftime and pretty much exclusively threw the ball for a little while, and that was the best Oxford Hills passing I've seen ever.
Yeah.
Definitely by far. Yeah, they looked crisp. Everyone was running good routes. I don't think there were any drops, and the offensive line looked amazing. Colton Carson wasn't facing really any pressure.
So those are some of the headliners for this matchup. Certainly, obviously, Carson makes Oxford Hills go, but when he does throw the ball, look for him to pass it to the likes of Alex Turner, Yannick Lutska, who had a touchdown last week through the air. He's got a bunch of different weapons, obviously, J.J. Worcester as well. So a bunch of guys he has options to throw to. Ben Stasium really paces Portland. He's third in Class A North in receiving yards, 15 catches for 277 yards and 3 touchdowns this year, so watch out for him. And we saw for Portland, Ben Trefethen really emerged as a defensive star against Edward Little. I mean, he was physical, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest keys for Oxford Hills' offense is to just kind of neutralize him and make sure he doesn't have as many big hits as we saw against EL, because that's really intimidating, and that's a good way to get in your opponent's head is with these big plays, big hits, drive-ending hits, that kind of stuff. I think if they can slow him down and just not get intimidated by their physicality, then they'll be fine.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll come back with more here on the pregame leading up to a 7 p.m. kick here live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Video feed powered by MBR.org and on the radio at 96.9 Ox Country.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
The 18th annual MBR All-Star Weekend takes place November 17th and 18th at the Augusta Civic Center, presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners. The weekend consists of the best high school basketball players throughout northern and southern Maine, squaring off from 6th grade to 12th grade. Boys and girls, get signed up now. Find more information at mainebasketballreport.com or at mbr.org. November 17th and 18th, you'll be able to watch the live stream of those games as well at mbr.org. All presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners.
When you're hurt at work, at home, or on the field, you may think you only have 2 choices.
Visit the ER or wait weeks for an appointment with a specialist.
But who has time to wait? We know you don't.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here.
but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Our patients are busier than ever, so we've made it easier to get quick access to specialized orthopedic care.
We now have 2 ways for you to be seen by one of our orthopedic specialists on your time: spine access and ortho access.
If you've got back or neck pain, call us at 1-855-96-SPINE to schedule an appointment with Spine Access. You'll see one of our orthopedic spine specialists within 24 hours.
And Ortho Access is now open in Portland and Auburn for walk-in orthopedic care for recent injuries, pain, sprains, and strains.
So whether you suffered a fracture on the field or experiencing new sudden onset back pain, we'll see you now.
As we welcome you back in on the video feed as well at MBR.org. Senior Day here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. You were a senior just last year. What are your memories of Senior Day?
Lots of tears.
Yeah.
Lots of tears and a big win against Cheverus, one that came right down to the wire. So it's always exciting. You know, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It's really emotional, and you really carry that emotion into the game. So I think that makes it a lot more exciting.
And the Vikings, of course, do have a number of seniors. Alex Turner, Cam Slicer, who's unfortunately hurt out for the year. Colton Carson, Johnny Pruitt, Parker LaFrance, Michael Bonet, Yannick Lutska, Emerson Brown, Ryan Cabral, Travis May, Alex Fox, Austin Sanborn, Austin Dowdy, who's had such a great career as well among the seniors. I believe I covered them all there for the Vikings this season, as they're now taking the field again as we're about ready to get the coin toss and the national anthem going here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. But first things first, I mean, they have a huge lead in the heel points right now over Portland, even though they have the same record. But this is still another chance to make a second statement in a row, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Even if they were to lose this game, they'd still be first in the North. But like you had said before, they want to leave without a doubt. They want everyone to know that they are the definitive #1 team.
Certainly, and this should be, again, a great matchup. Portland lost to Oxford Hills last year in the regular season, but they got them back in the postseason, right?
Right, yeah. That was a hard one.
What was the difference between those games from your point of view?
Well, I think the biggest thing was the change at quarterback. They went from Sam Nope the first game to Teron Moss. And Teron Moss, he's an amazing athlete. He could get it done on the ground better than any quarterback in the state at the time. He lacked a little bit in the throwing, but he made up for it with his feet, and we couldn't contain him. They ran him tons the whole game, and I think that was the difference.
All right, anthem playing right now. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the kickoff here on Ox Country and the video feed MBR.org.
Winter People Athletics creates custom athletic apparel, including team uniforms and spirit wear. They support team sports programs by offering a variety of clothing and other merchandise which can be personalized with team logos, player numbers, and names, and various other options. They can also provide innovative custom screen printing and embroidered apparel to create fun and engaging fan and booster items to sell for your team fundraising efforts. Call Steve Haynes, Athletic Apparel Consultant, at 207-869-6019 or online at winterpeople.com.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Aaron Morris, Tasker Winslow with you live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth at the Wine Athletic Complex as the Oxford Hills Vikings prepare to take on the Portland Bulldogs in our CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country. Video feed MBR.org. You can find all the links to listen or watch at MBRradio.com. And the captains are meeting out there at midfield for the coin toss, and for the Vikings, obviously, Austin Dowdy, along with Colton Carson, Cam Slicer, who's injured right now, and Parker LaFrance as well. And those are four very special seniors in terms of being captains and really being huge contributors throughout their entire careers here, right?
Yeah, definitely. They are amazing players, but they also have great character, and they're leaders by example.
And Dowdy, of course, is a big force on both sides of the line, whether it be offensive or defensive line. Carson, we all know about him. He's going to the University of Maine to play baseball next year. There's whispers he might, have pro prospects possibly in that sport, but he's been great, obviously, in football and basketball as well. And Parker LaFrance, the big hitting linebacker, also a solid power runner, good blocker. And, of course, Cam Slicer had the huge game against Lewiston to start the year where he was he's still almost in the top 10 in receiving based on a couple of games.
Right.
Even though he ended up hurt, he finished the year with 7 catches for 135 yards, which is fourth on the team behind only Worcester, Lutzka, and Turner, their leading receiver this year. And how about Turner, emerging not only defensively, we knew he could do there, but also catching the ball on offense.
Yeah, that was something I didn't really expect. Through the first game, he actually didn't play much defense. He played more offense than he did defense. So I had to text Coach D and ask him what was going on with that. But he said he's helping out more on the offensive side, and they were getting him back into the rotation on the defense because he'd been spending 90% of his time working on the offense. So they got him back into the defensive rotation, and now he's doing it on both sides of the ball.
What an atmosphere we have here tonight. There was a bonfire going on when I drove up to the stadium. I thought, Tasker, the stadium was actually on fire. I was freaking out a little bit, and I saw there were fire trucks, but obviously they're there to control the fire. It is a planned fire, and it's a lot of fun here, certainly tonight, as the Vikings are going to receive the opening kick here.
Yeah, as the captains were walking out, the Augusta wind picked up just right and carried a bunch of smoke over the field. It was pretty cool. I think it was meant to be.
So the first quarter about ready to get underway. My name's Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow.
There was a ref with a trash bag on the field. I was a little confused.
Okay, yeah. They had something they needed to get off the field. But about ready to get this thing started. We got Alex Turner and Michael Bonang back deep. Of course, what a game Bonang had. He's one of their seniors last week against Monte Eagle, the 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Bonang will field the kickoff at the 10-yard line. Bonang takes it out 20, near side 25, cuts to near the sideline, and is brought down at the 25-yard line by Portland's Ben Stasium, a senior who is a dangerous player on offense and makes a nice tackle there on special teams. And we're underway here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. No score as we just getting started here in the first quarter. 11:53 to go. 26-yard line of Oxford Hills is where the Vikings will start it. LaFrance in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Lutzka in the slot for Colton Carson in the shotgun per usual here with 2 wide receivers on the near side and Turner split out wide to the right. Carson on 1st and 10 takes a snap and he'll hand it off LaFrance, and LaFrance is stacked up for pretty much no gain. He might have actually lost a yard on that time. Good pursuit by that Portland defense. There are a lot of guys who can make some big hits there, and Zach Elowich was in the middle of that one. Two-way star for them at linebacker and running back.
Yeah, it looked like Trefethan and Elowich were right in there, and like I said before the game, they gotta make sure they cut them off and don't let them blow up plays in the backfield like that.
He did lose a yard, so it's 2nd and 11 for the Vikings from their own 25-yard line. The running back this time is Emerson Brown. To the left of Carson, who's got 3 wide receivers. Lutzka in the slot again. Lutzka goes in motion. And they'll give it off to Brown, and Brown trips. He had a bit of a hole initially, but ended up just tripping and falling, and then was covered up quickly by Jamal Mariba, junior, 5'9", 175 pounds for Portland, but looked like he might have had a space there, Tasker, but he just caught his own legs together.
Yeah, it looked like the defensive end maybe got tripped up on his cleat or something like that, and he dove forward for about a yard.
He did fall forward, so it's 3rd and 10 now as they get the yard back. 4 wide receivers. Worcester is to the right in the slot. Lutzka in the left in the slot. 4 wides. Some press coverage from the Bulldogs on 3rd and 10. Carson takes a snap. He'll look to run it off left tackle, and Trefethan missed him initially. Actually, no, Trefethan's the one who cleaned up. One of the other Bulldogs had him initially, and then Trefethan came in and got him, and he got to the 30-yard line. That's not enough. 4th down. I believe it was number 57, Kakoa Farnsworth, who had him in his sights initially, and then Trefethen ended up doing his thing and putting his shoulder into Carson and bringing him down. He doesn't so much tackle as just hit you.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of that tonight.
Elowich is back deep to return this punt, standing at his own 45. Lutzka to punt it away. Looking to angle it to the right side. He gets it away, and it's a good kick. Elowich will field it at the 38, and nowhere to run. Alex Turner came flying in there to make the stop, and no gain on the return. Basically, right at the 40-yard line is where Portland will start. Lutzka was trying to make it so he could not catch the ball at all. He did, but Turner, great coverage.
Yeah, great field position for Portland to start off, but it was still a great punt and great coverage.
So you mentioned, of course, Nope was their quarterback in the regular season initially last year before Moss took over, but Nope has been the starter all year this year, and they'll run it right away. And
they lost the ball.
Yeah, they lost it, but falling on it was number 22, Nope, the QB. You don't see, obviously, too many quarterbacks with number 22, and they lost the ball, but Nope was able to recover it. They do lose a yard on the play. Wasn't quite sure what, yeah, but I think he just fumbled the snap.
Yeah.
I was like, are they running a QB sneak on 1st and 10? No, he just fumbled the snap because he does line up under center, which is different from Carson. Nope, under center again. Takes a snap. They'll pitch it for Elowich. Elowich running near side. Now cuts back and gets near midfield before Lutzka gets to him. And then he drags a couple Vikings to the 50-yard line. Good tough run. Zach Elowich for a first down to midfield. Just across the 50-yard line for the Bulldogs, and they move the chains. So that's Zach Elowich, the leading rusher in Class A North. It's no secret what Portland does. They don't do too many tricks or anything like that. They want to run it. But when they do throw it, watch out for Ben Stasium. He's lined up wide left. But a full house backfield here. Nope under center on 1st and 10 from midfield. Puts Elowich in motion. They'll hand it off, though, to Trefethen up the middle. And Trefethen gets about 4 yards on the play before he's brought down. They give him 5 to the 45-yard line of the Vikings. 2nd and 5 for Portland from the Viking 45-yard line after the Trefethen run. The senior, physical player on defense and offense. Elowich lined up, split by the tight end to the right of Nope under center. Trefethen right behind Nope. Elowich goes in motion to the left, and this time Nope keeps it off left tackle. And these Bulldogs, they know how to fall forward, certainly. They get hit, but then they keep going, and he gets to the 41-yard line, just shy of a first down, bring up 3rd and 1. A long one. The first down marker just across the 40. They're at the 41.
Yeah, Trefethen this year, he was actually transferred from Deering, and that was a huge pickup for Portland.
Under center is Nope on 3rd and short. Only one wide receiver. A handoff, Trefethen off right tackle, and he's spun down. That's Parker LaFrance, who got him by the ankles, and he might be short. He's right at the 40. He is just short. It's 4th and less than a yard, but LaFrance, what a play. Parker LaFrance went low and got him by the ankles and tripped him up.
Well, we know there's a 90% chance they're going to run something right up the middle, so I think you gotta send everyone right here.
4th and less than a yard. Nope lines up under center. Trefethen is right behind him. Stasium split out wide to the right on 4th and inches. Nope, the QB sneak, and that'll be a fumble. It's on the ground, but the Bulldogs are going to recover it, as it was actually fumbled forward in the end, and you can do that, and that'll gain them big yardage. What a play that time by Tyler Bledajewski, who was able to fall on it for Portland as the ball rolled inside the 30 down to the 29. And a first down. That's the biggest gain on a fumble I've ever seen, Tasker.
Yeah, and on a QB sneak, too.
Right. Ball popped out, went straight forward down the field, and Bledajewski was the first one to get there. 6'5", 220-pound tight end. All right, so under center, Nope again on 1st and 10. Takes a snap. They've only run it so far. It's Trefethen up the middle inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line.
It seems every play they're just leaving a trail of white and green jerseys behind them.
Yeah, they're pushing forward with this rushing attack. They fumbled it twice on this drive. Both times Nope fumbled, but both times Portland recovered. One time Nope recovered his own fumble. The second time his tight end, Blejewski, was able to recover it for him. So they keep marching down the field right now. It's 2nd and 6 from the Viking 25. Nope under center, Trefethen behind him. It's Trefethen again. Off left tackle this time and dives forward for a couple. Bring up 3rd down at the 23. They have yet to go to the air, but Ben Stasium is a dangerous weapon. He's out there every play. It's going to be a little frustrating as a wide receiver knowing you're not getting the ball most of the time. But when he does, it's typically for a big play.
Right.
Turner matched up on him. This time they do split out 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun, first time today for Nope. Nope will run it himself off left tackle. Gets by 1 defender before he's dragged down by the ankles. Good stop that time by the Vikings' Cade Truman. And he is short of the first down, so it's 4th down at the 21-yard line. Need to get just inside the 20 for a first down.
One thing that scares me about this defense is it takes them a little while to settle in, and it seems like every game, the first couple drives, we see them give up plays that look a little bit too big, make us a little uncomfortable, but like I said, they'll settle in. They'll stop giving up, 5-6 yard runs up the middle, and this game will definitely turn around, I think.
4th and short, the pitch to Elowich. Elowich has it. Elowich inside the 20 and down to near the 15. Just shy of the 15-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Truman ended up making the stop again. He's the 4th leading tackler in Class A North. Cole Dunham, by the way, leads Class A North in tackles entering this game. The Vikings have 3 of the 4 leading tacklers in Class A North. But that's enough for a first down for Elowich. So on 4th down this time, no fumble, and there's a pitch to Elowich, the leading rusher in the division, and he gets the first down. So they're in the red zone now, 1st and 10 from about the 16-yard line. I formation, the pitch to Elowich on the near side. Elowich looking to navigate down to the 10-yard line, still on his feet inside the 10 before he stopped right at the 9-yard line for Elowich. Just shy of a first down, bring up 2nd and short for the Bulldogs. This is a methodical drive, certainly for Portland. We saw this last week. Of course, Bonnie Eagle had an opening drive similar to this. They had one 25-yard run, but besides that, it was a lot of just
short yardage plays.
Keeping it.
At least they're making them work for it.
I formation. It's Elowich, the tail of the tandem in the eye. Trefethen's the fullback here on 2nd and short. Nope, takes a snap. Pitch to Elowich. Elowich gets hit at the 10-yard line, but stays on his feet, and then it's driven back by Truman. Good job by Truman. Worcester was the first man there, and then Truman cleaned up. And he's short, so it's going to be 3rd down at the 10-yard line. They need to get to about the 8 here. They're right at the 10-yard line.
Looks like they've started to figure out that toss play a little bit.
Yeah, it can be interesting because he goes in motion, and then as he keeps going, they immediately toss it to him. Stasium, the wide out to the left. I formation again with a couple tight ends in there. Under center, Nope. Tail of the tandem is Elowich. And Trefethen's the fullback on 3rd and short. The pitch again to Elowich, same play, and they're persistent. Elowich down to the 5, still on his feet before his forward progress is stopped right at the 5-yard line. That's going to be enough for another first down. It's going to be 1st and goal for Portland at the Viking 5-yard line, as there's only 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter, as this drive has taken up a lot of clock. The Vikings did get the ball to start, but they ended up going 3 and out and having to punt, and since then, Portland has just held on to the football.
They've gone to 4th down 3 times in this drive, so it's pretty crazy that they have kept the ball for this long.
I formation again with Elowich the tail. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Nope will pitch it to Elowich. Same play again, and Elowich will fall forward down to about the 2. And that'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Bulldogs.
That's the same play.
Yeah, they've run
I think 5 or 6 times in a row.
They've run it quite a bit here on this drive. They're going to keep doing it as long as Elowich gets positive yards out of it.
Maybe it's different blocking scheme, so it just looks like the same play. That's what I'm going to go with.
Zach Elowich, senior running back, keeps getting the football. They're at the 2-yard line. It's 2nd and goal. I formation again. Nope under center. Takes a snap. Handoff up the middle. Elowich for the end zone. And he is stopped short of the end zone at about the 1-foot line. So that'll bring up 3rd down and goal. Vikings were able to stop him just short. But now they could sneak it possibly, although they fumbled it on the sneak before on this drive, or they could give it to Elowich again. They are literally as close as you can get to that goal line. The tip of the ball is a centimeter away from the goal line right now.
I'd say put Dowdy right over the center and just tell him to blow it up. Make sure they don't sneak.
Dowdy's over the center. 3rd and goal. Elowich the tailback. I formation again. Nope will sneak it. Up the middle. No signal yet. There it is. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Nope on the QB sneak, and Portland takes the lead 6-0 with 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. Extra point coming up. And for Sam Nope, that's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Extra point here. They have a very accurate kicker, at least on extra points. That is Vumpa.
When we saw Portland versus EL, he hadn't missed one all year.
And now we have a whistle. And Portland wants to talk this one over. They call timeout. We'll keep it right here. Christo Vumpa is only a freshman, but he has been perfect on extra points. 30 for 30 this year. He has not made any field goals, though, but he does the job. The extra point for Portland, but they call time. Interesting to call timeout on a point after touchdown attempt, but see what they try to do here. The holder, by the way, is Stasium. And, well, still nothing. The coach is coming all the way out to the field to talk to everybody.
Yeah, it's odd. You don't see that much on a point after.
So they're trying to figure out what they want to do. Remember, Bonnie Eagle, when they scored on their first drive, ended up going for 2 on the, what do you call it, the swinging gate.
Right.
And it worked. They converted it. But Portland, as of now at least, going for the traditional extra point, their kicker has not missed a PAT all season. The freshman Vumpa. Here's the snap. Hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So, with 48 seconds to go in the first quarter, the score, Portland 7, Oxford Hills nothing. We'll take a quick break, 30-second break here, and we'll come right back here on Ox Country and video feed at MBR.org.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Aaron Morse, Tasker Winslow with you as the kickoff. Alex Turner on the return for the Vikings. Still on his feet near sideline 45, midfield. Still on his feet, he's finally out of bounds in Portland territory at the 45-yard line. Forced out by the kicker, Vumpa. But Alex Turner on a big return for the Vikings on the ensuing kickoff after Portland got on the board first. Turner making a play.
I think he trucked more of his own teammates than he did Portland players, but we'll ignore that. That was a great return.
The score is 7-0 Portland, but the Vikings have it in Bulldog territory. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. As Grant Crosby, for some reason, on Portland trying to pump up the crowd here at Oxford Hills. But nonetheless, Carson in shotgun, 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10 at the 45. LaFrance in the backfield. They put Lutzka in motion. They'll give it to LaFrance right up the gut. Parker LaFrance can match Mr. Trefethan for physicality any day, and he punches his way down to the 42-yard line on that carry for 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Vikings as the first quarter at 20 seconds left in the quarter after a long touchdown drive by the Bulldogs. They started with good field position and then just marched down the field, converted a couple fourth downs along the way.
8 seconds. I don't know if they're going to get this off.
Let's see if they get the playoff. They got 5 seconds left. Carson.
No.
They do not get the playoff. First quarter comes to an end, and we'll take a quick break here between Portland and Oxford Hills. This is the Central Maine Community College Ham and Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country, video feed, MBR.org.
The 18th annual MBR All-Star Weekend takes place November 17th and 18th at the Augusta Civic Center, presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners. The weekend consists of the best high school basketball players throughout northern and southern Maine, squaring off from 6th grade to 12th grade. Boys and girls, get signed up now. Find more information at mainbasketballreport.com or at mbr.org. November 17th and 18th, you'll be able to watch the live stream of those games as well at mbr.org. All presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners.
Aaron Morris, Tasker Winslow, welcome back in the Central Maine Community College Ham and Lumber Game of the Week. We are live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Video feed at mbr.org. Second quarter underway. Colton Carson takes a snap. He'll look to pitch it, and he does to Parker LaFrance. Running near side 40, 35, down the sideline 30, 25, 20, still on his feet 15, cuts back 10, 5, touchdown, Parker LaFrance. He takes it to the house, 42 yards, and a touchdown.
What a great run. What a great run. The speed to get to the edge and then the step to get back inside. Wow.
Big play. Parker LaFrance on the pitch. The option pitch, basically, from Colton Carson. He takes it to the house, tight roping the sideline, and then weaving his way through the Portland defense as Yannick Lutska is on for the extra point, looking to tie this game for the Vikings. Hold is down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And so Oxford Hills waits no time getting the equalizer with 11:49 to go in the second quarter. The score, Oxford Hills 7, Portland 7. Quick 30-second break here on Ox Country. Video feed, mbr.org.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Aaron Morse, Tasker Winslow with you on the ensuing kickoff. It's fielded by big number 91 for Portland, who is not listed on their roster. That is something that happens sometimes with the old Bulldogs.
I think that
looks like they're
look for 81.
That looks like 81. Yeah, Kapongo on the return. Yeah. He's their star on defense. I thought I saw a 9. Maybe I'm maybe I'm losing my mind.
It is 91.
It was a 9. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought for a second I can't tell the difference between 8 and 9, which would be a problem. But we're good. He returned it out to the 30-yard line. If you just joined us, well, you've already missed 2 touchdowns in this game. Sam Nope on a QB sneak, and then Parker LaFrance a 42-yard run to pay dirt for the Vikings. So we're tied at 7 as Nope will start his own 30-yard line early here in the second quarter of action. They put Elowich in motion, and they hand it off to the physical Trefethan, who's still on his feet, trying to run east to west, though, and that's not going to get him anywhere as the Vikings stack him up for maybe a yard, if that, on that run. So that'll bring up second down for Portland. You touched on the great vision Parker LaFrance showed on that touchdown run, but also the blocking was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, the blocking downfield, it was about 20, 25 yards downfield with a perfect block that allowed him to take that step inside and get to the end zone.
Now, what will the Vikings defense do against this tough Portland team with their running game that's just so methodical? Nope under center. And the handoff goes to, I believe, Elowich. And he has nowhere to go that time. Stacked up by a pair of Viking defenders. That was Cade Truman and Yannick Lutzka and Elowich for a couple, but it's going to be 3rd and long, and it's a rare 3rd and long for Portland. They've basically had all 3rd and shorts so far. This is big for the Vikings. Portland has the ball right now at about the 33, it looks like.
Michael Bonang just subbed in for Dingley. I don't know if they are putting an extra defensive back out there now or if they had one less defensive back before.
Bonang matched up against Stasium. Split out wide. They'll just pitch it to Elowich on 3rd and long, and Elowich is going to get a 1st down. Elowich runs it across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Tell you what, 3rd and 8, that is a lot of confidence to just run that pitch play, and it worked.
The same one that they ran 5 or 6 times in a row last drive.
So Portland, I still don't think they've attempted a pass today, not that I can remember.
No.
It's been all running.
Yep, a lot of tosses. They might be trying to set something up with that toss play, some misdirection for later in the game.
10 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. We're tied at 7. Portland football, 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Nope in shotgun here. And it's a high snap over the head of Nope. It's bouncing back all the way to the 20-yard line. We'll just fall on it down at the 19. So a huge loss of yards on that high snap, and that is a significant error by Portland because they are all the way back at their own 20, and the 1st down marker is at the 49, so they have 31 yards to go. Because the 1st down marker is at the Oxford Hills 49 here. 2nd and 31. My goodness. After that snap went over the head of Nope. So a self-inflicted error that time by Portland.
Not something you'll see very often with their conservative offense. I'd say that's probably why they're under center most of the time.
Nope, under center again. This time I formation. Trefethan, and then the back is Elowich. Nope rolls to his left, looking to throw. He's got a man, but then good job by Turner, who caught up with Stasium. Stasium had a step initially, and the throw was just overthrown, but really what Turner did was he recovered and caught up with Stasium right at midfield and prevented him from even having a chance to catch that ball. So a deep throw, incomplete, 3rd down. I thought for a second Stasium was going to have daylight, but Turner, great closing speed.
I thought it looked like they might throw a flag on Alex Turner for pass interference, but it was close. It was borderline.
He turned around, looked for the ball, which is huge. If you're making a play on the ball, they're not going to call it typically. So again, Turner matched up with Stasium, this time on the near side on 3rd and a country mile. Under center is Nope. On 3rd and 31, they'll just run it. Up the gut, there's a flag in the area of holding this time. The run was with Grant Crosby, a freshman, who's listed as quarterback, but gets a carry there. He's a pretty big kid for a freshman, I suppose, 5'10", 176 for now. It is indeed holding. That was right where you always have it. And if I'm Oxford Hills, I'm declining this probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's 4th down now. Make them punt. I mean, they're already backed up, and you never know what could happen if they get another down.
Right.
So Michael Bonang, who had such an amazing game against Pawnee Eagle on defense, is back deep, standing at his own 41-yard line as Portland will look to punt it here. The punter is Elowich. Elowich receives the snap and boots it away. Wobbly kick. Bonang fields it, drops it, and falls on it at the 48-yard line. He was looking to make a play there. He had a head full of steam. He was looking to make a big return, and he dropped the ball, but then fell right on it. Good job by Bonang to maintain possession for the Vikings. 1st and 10, their own 48.
See, that's a big difference between Bonang returning punts last year and this year. Last year, he would have come up and signaled for a fair catch and just taken that there. This year, he trusts himself a little bit more, which sometimes doesn't work out, but he trusts himself more, and he's going to take that with a full head of steam and try to take it to the house.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 48. We're tied at 7. There's 8:44 to go in the 2nd quarter. Carson in the gun, LaFrance in the backfield. They'll fake it to LaFrance. Carson looking to keep it himself, and he is stacked up. And that is Kapongo all over him. 6'5", 280 pounds. Who's wearing number 91 today. And they lose a yard. 2nd and 11 coming up for the Vikings from their own 47-yard line. Carson in the gun. The slot receivers Bonang. LaFrance in the backfield. 4 wide receivers. Lutzka the slot on the far side. On 2nd and 11, Carson takes a snap. Back to pass. Good block from LaFrance. Now Carson looks to run. He'll throw it on the run. Wide open Pruitt. 25-20. Down the far sideline. Who's going to go? Touchdown, Oxford Hills. Johnny Pruitt takes it to the house. That is good for 53 yards and a touchdown.
And they were celebrating a little bit too much. Johnny Pruitt fell down.
Pruitt all the way to the house on Senior Day. Senior to senior right there. Pruitt for Oxford Hills and a touchdown.
And what a great play by Colton Carson to roll out, bring the ball down, tuck it, make it look like you're going to run, and then pull it up at the last second before you hit the line of scrimmage. Kind of throw a little jump pass to Johnny Pruitt over the top of the defense.
Extra point from Lutzka is good. And with 7:58 to go in the half, the Vikings lead 14-7 on a Pruitt 53-yard touchdown reception, wide open down the far sideline. Quick 30-second break here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. MBR game of the week. It's Sam Nope at the 5-yard line on the kickoff after the Viking touchdown. Nope in all sorts of trouble. He's tackled at the 18. He dropped the kick initially, picked it up, and then had nowhere to go as the Viking special teams all over him. Well, Pruitt, that's probably the most wide open he's ever been.
Yeah.
Tell us about how that happened, Tasker.
Well, what happened was Colton Carson rolled out and he tucked the ball because I think he was actually going to just run. And as soon as he tucked it, he saw the corner come flying downhill. So right before he hit the line of scrimmage, he pulled the ball up and threw a little jump pass over the top to Johnny Pruitt.
And Pruitt was so wide open, I was stunned. I didn't know there was anyone there, and neither did Portland, apparently.
Yeah, sometimes when you get that wide open, you don't know what to do when you drop it. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Nope, under center on 1st and 10. The handoff up the middle, and this time the Vikings have it, and they forced a fumble, and they recover the fumble. Oxford Hills football. And recovering the fumble, it looked like, was number 37, Marcus Stone on the recovery for the Vikings. Well. Portland in all sorts of trouble now. Already down a touchdown, and the Vikings smelling blood. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
This game has definitely flipped from the first couple drives.
Yeah, Portland looked like their offense was going to be in command, and that's another fumble, and this time the Vikings recovered it. Carson in the gun with LaFrance right behind him. He's got 4 wide receivers on 1st and 10. He's going to throw a fade down the far sideline. Oh, Pruitt could not reel it in. Right at the near pylon, and he dropped it, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for Oxford Hills. But a nice-looking play there. Just couldn't quite execute a good throw.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where it was right over the top of his head, so he didn't know to turn left or turn right. He decided to turn left and try to scoop it instead of turning back towards it and catching it like a back shoulder throw. And sometimes when you do that, it can get away from you.
Well, I like going for the end zone right after the turnover. That's always a good thing to do because the other team, they're on their heels. 2nd and 10 now for Colton Carson. He's got 3 wide receivers. Bonang in the slot to the left. LaFrance in the backfield. Carson puts Bonang in motion, takes a snap, and the handoff LaFrance right up the middle. And this time he's stacked up by that big Portland front line led by Kapongo. But it'll be 3rd down now after a couple yards inside the 20 down to the 19.
They haven't found much room up the middle with Portland's big defensive line and linebacking core. So I'd expect to see them throw it a little bit more and probably try to get to the outside because that's what they've gotten their big plays on.
4 wide receivers again. Worcester there on the near side in the slot. He's a weapon certainly for Carson. 3rd down. Takes a snap, looks left, now looking to run it, in some trouble, just throws it up for grabs. This could be trouble intended for Pruitt. Elowich, though, had the coverage that time, incomplete. They both kind of stopped at the goal line. They both sort of jumped for it, but not really, and it was over both their heads. Bring up 4th down. Try a Lutska field goal here, possibly?
I think so.
They're at about the 19. Lutska made a 35-yard field goal against Bonnie Eagle. This one, let's see, where are they going to hold it? Well, okay, so they're going to be a little past 25, 26. There's going to be a 36-yard field goal for Yannick Lutska, so 1 yard more than last week. And we have a whistle, and that's in the area of delay of game, but I'm not sure. False start. Well, what was going to be a 36-yard field goal now would have to be a 41-yard field goal for Yannick Lutska.
I think they're going to keep him out there, too.
And now we have a whistle, and they're telling the clock to stop. Mark Soren wants timeout with 6:59 to go in the half. Vikings lead 14-7. They just forced another fumble. This one they recovered, but 3 plays, incompletion to Pruitt, although it was a great pass. Short, no gain really from LaFrance, and then another incompletion where he kind of threw it up for grabs and no one could reel it in. So it ends up being 4th down. But then, what do you think about a 41-yard field goal? You think they're going to try that? Or?
Well, I think Yannick wanted to kick it.
Yes.
As soon as they backed him up, he walked back 5 yards and
put
the block right down. He's
quick,
like,
let's go before anyone notices.
Right. And I think he could hit it. I've seen him in practice hit ones from as far as 45. So
they're going to go for it, though, instead. They're not going to kick it. Mark Soren said, I'm not going to let you try a 41-yarder.
Maybe some other time.
Maybe they'll try to throw it to him, though. Lutska in the slot. There's trips to the right. 4 wide receivers. LaFrance in the backfield. They need to get all the way down to the 9-yard line here on 4th down. They're backed up. Has deep drop from Carson. Oh, he's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked. First man there was Grant Crosby as Carson deep drop, and they kind of lost his footing, and then Crosby covered him up back at the 36-yard line. So
Austin Dowdy's limping pretty bad off the field. He immediately grabbed his knee when he went down on that, trying to block for Carson.
So Dowdy, who's also a key player on defense, limps off the field, and they're checking on him right now. But a good stand by the Portland defense. The turnover does not end up costing them. They get the ball back with good field position at their own 36-yard line. Nope under center. Takes a snap, the pitch to Elowich, running far side. Elowich weaves his way close to the 40 before he is driven back by Colton Carson, I believe, flew in there. And the ball's going to be spotted just shy of the 40 at the 39-yard line. So a 3-yard run by Elowich, 2nd and 7 at their own 39 for Portland. Vikings lead 14-7. There's 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. Nope, under center. Stasium, the receiver, to the far side. Nope, takes the snap. Play action fake, rolls to his right, under pressure from Worcester, throws on the run, and a nice grab in Viking territory by Stasium. Let's see, is it going to be a completion or not? LaFrance trying to signal incomplete. The refs are talking it over. Stasium made a diving attempt, and they're going to say he caught it at the Viking 45-yard line for a first down.
No, that's a bad call. I saw that hit the ground. It bounced.
The refs talked it over, but it's going to be Portland ball, 1st and 10 at the Viking 46 after what's ruled a catch by Ben Stasium. 3 wide receivers, another bad snap. This one went right through the hands of Nope, and he'll fall on it back at the 39-yard line. That so much was not a bad snap. I'm not sure Nope was ready for it, though.
Little Broncos, Seahawks,
this
Super
is
Bowl.
Not, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not something we saw when they played Edward Little. They were at home for that game. They were supremely confident. They injured multiple Edward Little players. I don't want to laugh about it, but it was kind of weird. Like, how like physically overmatched the Red Indies were, unfortunately, in that game.
Honestly, it could have been the noise too, because not that this stadium is loud enough to make it so you can't hear the snap count, but the band was playing when that happened.
The band does typically play through the snap here, which I always find funny. In most places, you would not have that happen. Nope, under center. Now the pitch to Elowich, running near side, tried to stiff arm the defender, and then the cavalry came, and they drive him back. Tackled at the 35-yard line. And the Vikings, great pursuit by multiple defenders there. And I want to say, once again, well, that was Cade Truman was in on it, but Marcus Stone, I believe, also. 37-32, Stone and Truman doing a great job today. And Stone's only a sophomore. He's playing some good football.
Considerable minutes, too.
Recovered that fumble earlier. Refs are talking something over. The ball's at the 35-yard line. Oh, there's a flag on the far side of the field is what it is. And LaFrance says they want to decline the penalty. It's on Portland. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh.
Oh, ineligible receiver, I guess. Pardon me. They decline it because instead of it being second down, it's third down, basically is what they wanted. And they lost so many yards. They lost a couple yards on that play also. So they're at their own 35, folks. And if they want a first down, they have to get to the Oxford Hills 36. So ways to go, to say the least. And now we have another whistle. And Portland wants timeout. All right, how about we take a quick 30-second break? 4:55 to go in the half. Vikings 14, Portland 7 here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Back in Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Moore's alongside Tasker Winslow, live for your MBR Game of the Week. On the radio side of things, it's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9. Ox Country, Portland, and Oxford Hills. And right now, folks, the score, Oxford Hills 14, Portland 7. And Portland, with 4:55 to go in the half, has a 3rd and 29 at their own 35-yard line. They have a long ways to go, to say the least. Under center, nope. He'll drop back to pass. Over the middle he goes. Intercepted! Guess who? Michael Boning out of bounds at the Portland 30-yard line. Boning one more time. His 3rd interception in the last 2 games. Viking football. He threw that one into triple coverage, Tasker, and Boning was the recipient of the interception.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he didn't have it, Colton would have had it. And if he didn't have it, then Alex would have had it. So I think it was covered either way. But that was a great play by Boning, and pretty good return to get it back to the 30, too. Good field position. 1st and 10,
Oxford Hills at the Portland 30-yard line. Let's see if this time they take advantage of the turnover. 4:46 to go in the half. Vikings up by a touchdown, looking for more. 3 wide receivers. LaFrance to the right of Carson in the gun. Puts a man in motion. That's Lutska. He'll fake the handoff and pitch it to Lutska. Lutska running far side, tried to stiff arm the defender, but a good pursuit and good tackle by Jamal Mariba that time to stop Lutska for a short gain down to the 28-yard line.
I'm surprised he made the tackle through that stiff arm. That was a hard one. His head snapped back pretty quick.
Good pursuit by Mariba, so it's 2nd down and 8 now for Oxford Hills. Boning will check in, Lutska will check out. Vikings lead by a touchdown. Boning just picked off Sam Nope. And for Sam Nope, that is the 6th time he's been picked off this year. Carson in the gun, puts a man in motion, that's Boning. They hand it off to Boning on the sweep. Boning trying to get to the edge. He breaks one tackle and gets a couple yards down to the 26-yard line before he's stopped. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 6 to go. Well, they ran the sweep to the long side of the field, which is what you like to do, and they just couldn't quite get the blocks they needed.
And now 3rd and about 6.
Yep.
I would, if it was me calling the plays,
yeah,
I would probably pass here, but I'd have Colton Carson roll out, I think, because they've been putting a little pressure on him, and he's been most effective when rolling out.
3 wide receivers for Carson on 3rd and 6 from the Portland 26. Lutska in motion. They'll fake the handoff to Lutska. Carson stays in the pocket. Throws over the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted this time by Stasium. Stasium to the 30. Stasium is tackled by number 64 in green, Austin Sanborn, at the 32-yard line. But Ben Stasium picks off Colton Carson, and it's Portland football. And we have a late flag that comes flying in after the play, and I think it might be on Portland.
I think both of them are. There were 2 flags.
And they're...
Oh, no, one's against Oxford Hills. They're going to offset them.
Offsetting, unsportsmanlike perhaps, those 2 teams going at it. They split 2 games last year. Portland saying it's on Oxford Hills. We'll see if it's offsetting or not. Personal foul Portland. Personal foul Oxford Hills. Penalties offset. 1st down, Portland after the Stasium interception. They'll have it at their own 32-yard line.
It's going to be interesting to look back on film and see if we can tell what happened there, because I didn't see anything.
Just some maybe extracurriculars going on down there on the field. Do they ever call it for like something someone says? Not so much,
yeah.
Yeah.
Any swearing?
Right.
That's
unsportsmanlike. Yeah.
Even if you if there's a bad call or something, you say, "Oh, come on," they'll throw it for that.
Oh wow.
They love it. They love throwing that. Yeah.
All right. So it's Portland football after the Stasium interception.
See, with these refs, their favorite things to call are things that are judgment calls, because then they can't be wrong. So that they can give you a personal foul for really anything they want, unsportsmanlike for anything they want.
So that time offsetting, so really nothing happens. Stasium, though, had the interception. So the 2 teams trade interceptions, and it's Portland football again. Nope under center, 1st and 10 from his own 32-yard line. Puts Elowich in motion. And the pitch to Elowich running far side. And Elowich spun down out across the 35 to 36-yard line, as flying in there for the Vikings was Cole Dunham, the leading tackler in Class A North. And Elowich got some positive yards, though, to the 36. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs, who trail 14-7 to Oxford Hills. 2:36 to go in the half after the Stasium interception of Colton Carson. Stasium, of course, a dangerous wide receiver, lines up far side. Nope under center. On 2nd and 6, Elowich in motion again. Now lines up behind in the eye. Pitch to Elowich, running far side. Elowich trying to navigate some traffic, and the Vikings would have none of it that time. He's driven back. No gain. Worcester was there. So was Travis May as well. Maybe a yard.
Looked like Cade Truman was in there, too. He might have come in late. There was a lot of bodies flying in a lot of ways.
So it's 3rd down for the Bulldogs. They're at the... they're at about the 37, it looks like. Close to the 38. They need to get out across the 40 to the 44 if they want a 1st down here on 3rd. Elowich out of the eye, up the gut he goes, and Elowich falls forward, and he might have that 1st down. He's close. Just right up the gut that time for Elowich. It's very close, and they do say it's a 1st down. Close, and they don't have to measure it apparently. So they're right at the 44. Just past the 43 there. So just shy of 44-yard line, but that's enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, who trail by a touchdown, but trying to get things going on offense. They've had some self-inflicted wounds, certainly. Here's the pitch to Elowich, running near side this time, trying to get some blocks, cuts back, and splits a few defenders, hurdles a man, still on his feet, looking to break away. 25-20, 15, and he's dragged down at the 10-yard line. Bonang with the touchdown-saving tackle, but Elowich with a great run. Le'Veon Bell asked with the patience that time from Elowich to wait for the blocks to develop, and then he just split a bunch of defenders, hurdled one guy, and just kept going right up the middle.
Yeah, the way that Parker LaFrance blew up his lead blocker and Elowich kind of bounced off from him, it looked like he was probably going to get stopped in the backfield, but he kind of, like you said, he had the patience, and he found a hole after that and brought it all. Where is it now? Down.
That's got to be Portland's last time out. They just
Yes,
called another one, yeah, with 1:03 to go in the half. Right now, Portland trailing 14-7, but they're knocking on the door. They have it 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Quick 30-second break here on Ox Country. Video feed, find it mbr.org.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. This is the MBR Game of the Week on the radio side of things. It's the CMCC and Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country. Find the video feed, mbr.org. 1:03 to go in the half. Portland on the doorstep, though. 1st and goal at the Viking 9-yard line, trailing the Vikings 14-7. Nope puts Elowich in motion again. They'll pitch it Elowich, far side, now cuts back. Still on his feet. Boy, he is tough to bring down. He'll fight his way down to the 5-yard line. They don't have any timeouts left, so the clock will move. Inside a minute to go.
It looks like they're huddling, too. I'm surprised when they took that timeout, they didn't set up 2 plays.
Yeah, they huddled briefly, and then they run up to the line. Nope, telling people, actually, that's Trefethan telling people to hurry up. Nope, under center. He'll fake the handoff and roll to his left. Nope, looking to run it now. Nope, for the pylon on the near side. He's knocked out of bounds by Parker LaFrance. He did not get there. He is short of the end zone. The clock will stop, though, with 29.8 seconds left. He's down to about the 3-yard line here. 3rd and goal from the 3, and the clock did stop when France knocked him out of bounds. So Portland will have time to make a substitution and talk things over in their huddle. So the Bulldogs, 3 yards away from pay dirt here. Trefethan right behind Nope, who's under center on 3rd and goal. Nope puts Elowich in motion, now pitches Elowich near side. Elowich is blown up. He did not get there, and the clock will wind. In the middle of that one was Cade Truman. They have 15 seconds to get a playoff on 4th and goal. He lost a yard back to the 4-yard line there. They're going to try a field goal.
6 seconds.
They have 5 seconds to get the snap off for the field goal. High snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good at the horn. As making the field goal, Christo Vumpa for 3. So Vumpa makes the field goal, and at the half, the score, Oxford Hills 14, Portland 10. Before we go to the break, though, Tasker, I mean, that was quite the finish there. They had to get the tee on the field and everything for that hold. Your thoughts on Portland's final drive?
Well, I mean, other than that one big play, it was pretty much the same thing we've been seeing, and they brought it all the way down to 4th and goal there. So that just proves that, you know, it was just one big play, I think. And that was impressive, though, with 20 seconds left, clock running, to get out there, get the block set up, and kick a field goal. Once they had everything set up, the clock was at 4 seconds, so they cut it pretty close there.
Absolutely. Well, we'll take a break for halftime. We'll come back in a bit. The halftime is brought to you by Oxford Federal Credit Union. At the half, Vikings 14, Bulldogs 10, here on MBR.org and 96.9 Ox Country.
So the athlete is usually either sent over from their athletic trainer, from their primary care physician, or sometimes from the school directly. My goal is always to get these kids in within 24 hours from the time of their injury. There are a few reasons why they would need to go to the ER that after, if they had an injury at a game, which the athletic trainer usually takes care of. But most of the time, these kids are fine enough to wait until the next day, just rest that night, and then we'll see them the next morning. So the first visit is like any other office visit we'll have. We'll have them come in, fill out the paperwork about their injury, their concussion, and kind of go through their symptoms, and then we'll do an exam, which is pretty thorough regarding their balance, their range of motion of their neck, as well as looking at their cranial nerves, any dysfunction that we can find. A lot of times it's more the, just looking at the athlete and you can see the concussion almost in their eyes. A lot of times there's not a whole lot else on exam that we can find, and that's good. Usually if you see something more focally, a focal neurologic defect, that's where we're getting a little more concerned. Some of these kids will recover really quickly. Other ones can take weeks and months to fully resolve. Most importantly, once again, is the physical exam and just talking to the patient. In terms of scans, it's rare that you need to do any scans, especially a CT scan. Those are more reserved for if somebody had a prolonged consciousness, or they're having worsening symptoms, or they have a focal neurologic defect. As long as they don't have those, we rarely don't do any imaging, because there's not much you're going to see. Concussion is an injury, microscopic injury to the brain. It's not something that you can see on a normal imaging study. When you're doing a CT scan, you're looking more to see if there's a bleed, which is complicating the picture. The only test that we do run is there is the impact test, which is one of the cognitive testing tools that are out there to help determine, for me, more return to play. It's not a tool that helps to necessarily, I don't use it to diagnose a concussion. It helps me to really determine if the brain has recovered and are they ready to get back to more to their sporting level. So it's really an adjunct rather than the tool. Usually if it's going on 2 weeks, we don't recommend going to PT in those first 2 weeks. We just try to get them better, because the majority of people will improve in that amount of time. If they're still having symptoms after a couple of weeks, then we'll discuss maybe getting into some rehab to see if we can hasten their recovery. That being said, when we work with professional athletes, a lot of times they are trying to get right in. They need to get back, so we are getting them into rehab, sometimes right away, to try to hasten their recovery as well. So the follow-up for me for concussions, once again, depends on their symptoms. After our initial visit, we'll really discuss our plan for the short term and any restrictions for school and sports. I usually have the parents contact me, usually within about a week, to let me know how the student's responding. And if they have resolution of symptoms, there's no reason to follow up. If they're still having symptoms, then I will usually discuss once again my thoughts for the next week. And if they're just not responding over a couple of weeks, that's when I usually start seeing them back. Or if I have an athlete who's been having symptoms for weeks and weeks on end, that really needs kind of a closer follow-up. We'll follow up with them quite regularly with their physical therapy to make sure that they're progressing in the right direction.
As we welcome you back in on the video feed as well here at MBR.org for this matchup. We're just in the middle of recapping things on the radio side. Portland trailing 14-7. The teams traded interceptions. Portland got the last possession of the half. They drove down, and what a chaotic finish, though. But you got to credit the Bulldogs getting their kicker out there on fourth down and converting the 3 points.
Yeah, they cut it real close, real close. I didn't think they were going to get it off, but I think when they snapped it, it was probably down to about 2 seconds.
If you're watching on the video feed, you can actually see the baton twirlers with their batons on fire performing. Really well done by both of them, certainly down there on the field, not to set the stadium ablaze during their halftime performance.
They can't get them to go out now.
No, yeah, they're still lit up. They're trying to make it go out, but they do have an extinguisher there. So, yeah, a lot of fire. The bonfire. So there were bonfires in the past here for homecoming. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
Okay. That's a tradition there. Is that typical size
Yeah.
fire that we saw?
It's
Okay.
usually they have like 50 pallets that they'll
Yeah.
burn. They'll stack up in a pile and burn. But yeah, it got canceled, I think, because of wind on homecoming. I can't imagine it's any less windy tonight. But
Was homecoming a day game for you guys this year?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So the fire certainly looks a little bit different when it's nighttime.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right, yeah.
So senior day here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. As usual, all the seniors have their pictures there on the fence right in front of the fans, along with the senior cheerleaders as well. And what a half we had, just as we probably expected, a close one, I think. Oxford Hills up 14-10 at halftime. The Vikings have done it through big plays, two big plays. Portland, though, more methodical down the field. What do you think is going to win out here? The team that keeps the ball for as long as possible until they possibly turn over a score, or Oxford Hills with their explosive plays? Can they keep that up with more big plays, you think?
Well, I don't think Oxford Hills minds how it's going right now with Portland taking a ton of time off the clock with their offense, and then Oxford Hills is able to get the ball back and immediately score. So I think they're okay with that. They're keeping their offense off the field as much as possible, letting Portland keep their offense on the field for 8-10 minutes at a time like they did in the first quarter. And so if they keep doing that, I think they'll be fresh at the end of the game, and if it comes down to a last drive, they'll definitely have the upper hand.
Does the defense tire down, though, possibly, or you think they got the conditioning here they can keep it up?
Yeah, I think, well, not as bad as if they were driving down the field fast. They take a lot of time. They huddle every time.
Right, that's true,
They have time to catch their breath,
Yeah.
and this defense is, they don't really mind getting a little tired.
And these guys play both sides of the ball anyway, so
Right.
it's not like
Right.
it's anything new for them. So at the half, again, the score, Oxford Hills 14, Portland 10. We'll take another break and come back. Halftime show brought to you by Oxford Federal Credit Union. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 The Ox, and you can find the video feed, mbr.org.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Winter People Athletics creates custom athletic apparel, including team uniforms and spirit wear. They support team sports programs by offering a variety of clothing and other merchandise which can be personalized with team logos, player numbers and names, and various other options. They can also provide innovative custom screen printing and embroidered apparel to create fun and engaging fan and booster items to sell for your team fundraising efforts. Call Steve Haynes, athletic apparel consultant, at 207-869-6019 or online at winterpeople.com. The 18th annual MBR All-Star Weekend takes place November 17th and 18th at the Augusta Civic Center, presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners. The weekend consists of the best high school basketball players throughout northern and southern Maine, squaring off from 6th grade to 12th grade. Boys and girls, get signed up now. Find more information at mainebasketballreport.com or at mbr.com.
Oscar Winslow, welcome back in to the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth for our CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on the radio side of things on 96.9 Ox Country. Find your video feed, mbr.org. Streaming on Facebook, streaming on YouTube. I think we're on Periscope also. We got it all going on up here for this huge contest between Oxford Hills and Portland. Both these teams entering this game with a record of 5-1 on the year. The Vikings' lone loss at Samford. The Bulldogs' lone loss this year was at Bonnie Eagle. Of course, Oxford Hills beat Bonnie Eagle last week in one of the biggest wins maybe in the history of the program, at least recent years, right,
Yeah,
Tasker?
definitely. Biggest win that I've ever seen here.
Certainly, and so both these teams, again, as I mentioned, 5-1. However, in the heel points, 153.125 for Oxford Hills, 99.6875 for Portland. So a significant advantage for Oxford Hills in the heel points. Even if they lose this game, good chance they might stay on top. But Tasker, I mean, they want this senior night, right? And this is this is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah, like we said, they want to come out of this game leaving no doubt in anyone's mind that they're the top team in the North. So I don't think they're worried about heel points right now.
Right.
They're worried about just beating Portland.
And Vikings, of course, 5-1 as we mentioned in first place, and they're up 14-10 right now. We are at the half. It's halftime here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. Cheverus, by the way, has created a little distance between them and the other teams in the North as well. They're in third at 4-2, and one of those losses was Oxford Hills' 42-14 win at Cheverus. You said last week that Cheverus win was the most complete performance you'd seen from the Vikings. Maybe that was replaced by last week's game?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was definitely.
Against Bonnie Eagle. So 2 straight massive wins for the Vikings. They've won 3 in a row overall. They had the Bangor victory before. Portland had an easy win over Bangor, easy win over Edward Little, 2-touchdown win over Lewiston. So they've also won 3 in a row since their loss to Bonnie Eagle. Both these teams lost in week 3, only to win their next 3 games in a row. And so the Vikings do lead 14-10 at the half. Again, if you just joined us, the scoring, Portland on their first drive of the game after they forced a Viking punt, got a 1-yard touchdown sneak from Sam Nope for the initial lead in this contest. Their speedy junior quarterback helped them execute quite a long drive, ate up most of the first quarter before he got the touchdown. And then the Vikings responded right away. Parker LaFrance took it to the house, 42-yard touchdown run. And then with the game tied, a 53-yard touchdown pass from Colton Carson to Johnny Pruitt. And then at the last play of the half, with the clock winding down, Portland got a field goal to make it 14-10 at the break. And so we got about a minute 40 left until the second half will get close to getting started, I think. Oxford Hills not on the field yet. Portland is warming up on the right side of the field. So let's take about a 3-minute break here, maybe 2-minute. Let's take a 2-minute break and we'll be back for the second half kick in just a moment. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country. Video feed, mbr.org.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. It's halftime. The halftime brought to you by Oxford Federal Credit Union. We are live at the Gore Athletic Complex for the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Brought to you by, as I mentioned, CMCC Hammond Lumber. Video feed at MBR.org. We're on Ox Country. Thanks to John running the board back in studio. We got Tyler running the camera here on site. Tasker Winslow doing the color commentary. Always good to have a former Viking giving his insights, a very recent former Viking, to say the least. Tasker graduating last June. And how much of you feeling a lot of pride right now, and how much of you is jealous you're not out there on the field?
Yeah.
Tough question.
Yeah, that is a tough question. I mean, I'm so proud of these guys.
Yeah.
They're like family to me. And as much as I wish that I could be out there playing with them, it's their year. They deserve this. They've done everything to earn this. So.
And you guys, obviously, your class set a tone, certainly, I think, getting this team to the playoffs a couple years in a row, winning that thrilling playoff game, I think, when you were a junior, right, against Edward Little. I mean, certainly the Vikings have risen quite quickly in the Class A North, I think, pecking order. No doubt about that. They're clearly ahead of Cheverus right now, which a few years ago might have been unthinkable, right? Because Cheverus was for years a dominant program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Portland, too, and Wyndham. So, I mean, we were kind of near the bottom. It used to be EL, Lewiston, and us. We were at the bottom, and it was Bangor, Wyndham, Portland, Cheverus at the top. So it really did a complete 180 and kind of switched around within the past few years. But things are starting to sort out again. So
Oxford Hills right now and Portland, the two top teams in Class A North, and they're squaring off right now. Second half about ready to get underway. The score right now at halftime is Oxford Hills 14 and Portland 10. And we've got two halves remaining here tonight on Senior Day. What a game it's been so far. Everything we've hoped for. A close contest, certainly, between these two squads. Vikings led by a touchdown before the Bulldogs got that last-second field goal to cut the Viking lead to 4. Portland will get the football to start the second half of action. Yannick Lutz going to kick it off for the Vikings. Here's the boot. Going far side, and the big man's got it to the 30 and tripped up shy of the 35-yard line. I love the fact that they have the 280-pounder, the senior Nathan Kapongo back deep to return kicks. They have three guys back deep, and he's on the far side.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird situation for Yannick, because do you want to kick it to him and risk getting steamrolled, or do you want to kick it to the fast guys and have them burn you? So, I don't know who I would kick to in that situation.
First and 10, their own 35-yard line for the Bulldogs as we are underway here in the third quarter with the Vikings holding on to a 14-10 lead. Here we go, second half. Nope, under center. Puts Elowich in motion. Inside handoff, though, is Trefethan up the middle. He'll get it to the 40-yard line, so a 5-yard run on first down for the very physical, very talented Ben Trefethan. Second and 5 coming up for Portland from their own 40. Oxford Hills leading by a score of 14-10. Two big plays. Parker LaFrance, 42-yard touchdown run. Johnny Pruitt, 53-yard touchdown reception. Second and 5 from their own 40. Nope, puts Elowich in motion again. This time they will give it to Elowich up the middle, and he is stacked up, and he is driven back. And I tell you what, wrapping him up was Marcus Stone. One more time. He's had a whale of a game in the interior of that defense.
And the Viking defense coming out not looking sluggish at all, which I'm surprised by, because I remember last year coming out after halftime feeling like a sweaty popsicle. So, I mean, it was towards the end of the season. It's hard to come out of halftime. The first few plays, your legs just feel like Jell-O because you're so cold.
Third and 4 from their own 41-yard line for the Bulldogs, who were kind of their own worst enemy in the first half with a number of bad snaps out of shotgun, but nope, it's under center here. Play action fake. Under pressure from LaFrance. He is able to get away the pass. It is caught. And out across the 45 for a first down goes Ben Trefethen as he'll move the chains. LaFrance was in the face of Nope, but Nope able to get it to Trefethen, who gets it to the 46 and close to the 47, and a Portland first down. Well, he was definitely exposed to LaFrance, but he was able to get it over the outstretched hands of LaFrance to his receiver, Trefethen. Big Grant Crosby is in. Split off to the left here from Nope. Nope puts Elowich in motion. However, Trefethen gets the handoff, running up the gut, and he does not get driven back very often. He drives forward into Oxford Hills territory down to the 48. Now bring up second down.
You know, one thing that's always bothered me about this Portland team, every year that I've played them, and even now I'm still noticing it, their running backs get away with false starts pretty much every single play. They lean forward. If you watch, they lean, and they just keep leaning until the snap, and they get away with it every time. It's kind of funny to watch, actually. I don't know why. It's just them. I've never noticed it with anyone else.
Let's see here. Elowich goes in motion. Trefethen on the handoff, and he'll fall forward again. LaFrance on the stop. Down to the Oxford Hills 46, so it will be 3rd down and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's on that one. It's a little hard to get leaning when you're in a 3-point stance, but I'm sure you'll notice it now that I mention it.
So Trefethen again got the handoff that time. They're really leaning on him, Ben Trefethen. 8:58 to go, third quarter. Vikings lead 14-10. Portland has it 3rd down and, I'd say about 2 or 3 yards here. They're at the Viking 46. Elowich goes in motion again. And it's Elowich up the middle. He's hit hard, but he stays on his feet and falls forward. Elowich, what a run, because right there, hitting him hard was David Dingley, and he just kept his feet churning, and he gets the first down.
He was lucky not to lose that ball, too. It was a low snap. Hit him, just at about the belt, and it looked like he was 3 or 4 yards downfield and still trying to get it up so that he could get 2 hands on it.
Nope under center here, 1st and 10, I formation. Nope checking with Trefethen, who's right behind him in the fullback spot. They'll pitch it Elowich with the lead blocker, Trefethen down the far side, and good pursuit that time by Cade Truman, and not much room to run for Elowich. He's at about the 41. So he gained 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Bulldogs. 8:16 to go. He went out of bounds that time, so the clock stopped. 8:16 left, third quarter. Vikings lead by a score of 14-10. Portland, though, in Oxford Hills territory. On 2nd and 8, Nope under center. Elowich goes in motion again. The handoff, Trefethen up the gut, and Trefethen dives forward inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
They really like to use all their downs.
Yes, they are eating that clock up again. This is reminiscent of their opening drive that ended with a touchdown of the first half. This time, this is the opening drive of the second half entirely. Oxford Hills got the ball to start the game and had to punt. But Portland received the kickoff here, and they're marching down the field. Oh, that is a false start. They won't get away with that one, Tasker.
No. Yeah.
Trefethen jumped, as did Grant Crosby there. They both kind of jumped. So we'll move him back 5 yards.
Parker LaFrance telling the defense, no ears. Don't listen to the count. Which looked like the defensive line did a great job not listening to it there. I'm assuming it was a hard count.
Yeah.
That's what got the offense to jump, but.
So after the 5-yard penalty, it's 3rd down and 9 for the Bulldogs in Oxford Hills territory at the 42. Nope under center. He's got Stasium split out wide to the right on the near side. Takes the snap. Ooh, a delayed pitch. Kind of an awkward play, but Elowich is going to make it work. Down the far side, Carson knocks him out of bounds, but he's close to a first down. Very awkward play. The pitch was not in rhythm at all, but it worked. And that is a first down for the Bulldogs. Down to the 31-yard line goes Zach Elowich. Portland avoiding the shotgun. They had all sorts of issues with that in the first half. Multiple snaps went flying over Nope's head. He's under center here. 1st and 10. It's Elowich right up the gut. And he'll dive across the 30 to the 29. 2-yard gain for Elowich. 2nd and 8. So Portland chewing up that clock. There's 6:50 remaining in the third quarter. Oxford Hills yet to have the ball. We're almost halfway through the quarter here. As Nope comes out with the signals. Stasium will split out wide to the left. Elowich is split off to the right a little bit, but he'll probably go in motion like he normally does. No, not this time. Handoff up the middle, Trefethen. And
See, did you see that false start there?
I still wasn't looking, but yeah, I'm sure you see it. Down
Yeah.
the 26-yard line.
That looked like a few people on that one, but that's all right.
Dream Trip checks out. 6'2", 280 sophomore. He'll probably be a force to be reckoned with in no time. Elowich needs to tie his shoe here. And now he's ready. He needs to get the play call from Nope. Gets it. Trefethen says hurry up. Now they line up under center. Go to motion. 3rd down. Pitch to Elowich. Near side. Elowich to the 25. And he's dragged down there by Cole Dunham. Check that. He was, to the 25, down to the 23, and that is a yard shy of the 1st down. So 4th down coming up.
Looks like about 2 yards.
Okay, yeah.
4th and 2.
4th and 2, yeah. They need to get to the 21. They're at the 23. So 4th and 2 for Portland. On this opening drive of the third quarter, they've chewed up quite a bit of time, nearly 7 minutes. Nope under center. Elowich goes in motion in the eye. The pitch on 4th and 2. He's got the 1st down near sideline, and he's driven out of bounds. Boy, Bonin got tackled by his own player there after he pushed him out, but they're both fine. There'll be a 1st down for Elowich. They will spot it at the 16, so a 1st down run. Zach Elowich, he got 6 yards. He needed 2.
I think it was Cole Dunham, but one of the linebackers was filling that lane too and running downhill and just barely got tripped up, and I think he would have made the play too.
Well, 16-yard line, 1st and 10 for Nope and the Bulldogs. Elowich goes in motion. Trefethen's got a big hole inside the 10, and he stopped at about the 8. So that's a nice run, 8-yard run. It'll bring up 2nd and 2 at the 8-yard line for the Bulldogs as Trefethen got some good blocking up front. Well, the Bulldogs very methodical. 4:34 to go in the quarter, and Oxford Hills has not touched the football on offense yet. Nope under center. Elowich behind him in the eye. It's Elowich up the gut. Elowich inside the 5, and he is stopped. Vikings saying he lost the football.
He did.
Both teams are signaling they want it. We haven't seen a signal yet from the officials. The officials are conferencing. Vikings saying it should be their football.
It definitely got ripped out. I didn't see who fell on it.
And they're going to say Portland fell on it. So they allow Portland to keep possession. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 3. Well, and now we have a whistle. And it's an official timeout because Mark Soren wants an explanation from the referee about the call there.
And I think he deserves one.
And Soren does not seem particularly satisfied with the explanation. And they'll wind the clock now.
Yeah.
Tough break for the Vikings. They nearly forced another turnover there. Nope, under center. Trefethen, the fullback. Elowich is to the left. Now he goes in motion behind Trefethen. On first and goal, it's Elowich up the middle. And we have a whistle as a false start. So that'll move him back 5 yards.
Makeup call? I don't know. I don't know.
So that'll bring up still a first and goal, but they're backed up 5 yards. Back out to the, I'd say about the 7. Still first and goal for Portland. As, boy, oh boy, there is 3:28 and the clock moving remaining in the third quarter. And Oxford Hills has not had the football this half. Portland is just very methodical, just like their opening drive, even more extreme, though, in this situation. First and goal from the 7. Elowich goes in motion behind the fullback Trefethen. Nope under center, handoff Elowich up the middle. Elowich is stacked up at the 5-yard line after a 2-yard run. And that'll bring up second and goal for the Bulldogs. Oxford Hills leads 14-10, inside 3 minutes to go, third quarter, and Portland's still driving. It's been over a 9-minute drive for the Bulldogs.
They pretty much had the ball the whole first quarter and the whole third quarter.
Right. The second quarter was just big play after big play.
Right.
All right, Trefethen, the fullback, Elowich under center. Portland second and goal from the 5-yard line. Elowich now on the eye. The tail of the tandem. Oh, Nope's going to run it. And he's got a wide open lane for a touchdown. Bootleg left. Sam Nope, his second rushing touchdown of the game. And that fooled pretty much everyone. And the Bulldogs take a 16-14 lead with 2:24 remaining in the third quarter.
Yep, and that's that misdirection we were speaking about before, whether they were running the toss or the blast type power to the right. I knew that they were going to end up bootlegging off from it at some point later in the game.
Extra point from Vumpa, who's made every extra point he's attempted this year, and that one is good as well. So with 2:24 remaining, a 9-minute, 36-second drive here in the third quarter to give Portland a 17-14 lead. 30-second break. We'll be back in a moment here on MBR and 96.9 Ox Country.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Aaron Morris, Tasker Winslow with you live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Portland leads 17-14 after a Sam Nope touchdown run. Ensuing kickoff right now, Turner picks it up off the ground at the 15 to the 20. Bulldozes his way against the Bulldogs out to the 26-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will start their drive. Trailing now for the second time today. They were down 7-0 at one point. Now they trail by 3. 17-14 with 2:18 remaining in the third quarter. So, Tasker, if you're Colton Carson, well, you've been out there playing defense, but now you got to get on back on offense, right? It's been a while.
Right, yeah. They, like I said, Portland had the ball the whole first quarter and the whole third quarter pretty much, so he hasn't had much time on this side of the ball tonight. Hopefully he can settle in here.
LaFrance in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Carson in the shotgun on 1st and 10 from their own 26. Lutzka goes in motion. Carson will keep it up the middle. Colton Carson to the 30. Almost had a lane for possible huge gain, but a nice tackle that time by the Bulldogs at the last second. Wait and see his number for you. He's bending over to fix his jersey, but that was a heck of a play by number 21 in white. That was Jamal Mariba. Drag him down by the legs that time, because if he beats Mariba, he might still be running.
Oh, he'd be gone. Yeah. With his breakaway speed, he would have been gone.
7-yard gain on the play nonetheless. 2nd and 3 for Oxford Hills. Long 3, I suppose. Here's the handoff. LaFrance, he's going to lose yards. Blowing the play up in the backfield was Mariba. So that's 2 straight excellent plays by Jamal Mariba, 5'9", 175-pound junior.
It looked like Parker LaFrance got hit a little bit late, and it was directly in front of the ref on the sideline. Like, I think he landed on his feet, on the ref's feet, but They decided to just ignore that one.
So they have about 5 yards to go here. It looks like they're at the 30, about the 33-yard line. After that loss, they need to get to about the 37, so maybe about 4 yards here. Put Lutska in motion, does Colton Carson on 3rd down. Rolls to his right, does Carson, still rolling. Now he's going to throw on the right. He's got a wide open receiver, but he missed him. He had Yannick Lutska all by himself down the far sideline. He just overthrew him out of bounds, incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And that was that same type of play that they hit Johnny Pruitt on for the long touchdown in the first half, but just overthrew him a little bit, and I guess you can expect to be a little bit more inaccurate when you're rolling out, throwing off your back foot. I think he had time to set up and, you know, try to push off his back, try to actually, you know, throw off his back foot and deliver a good ball, but he rushed it a little bit. I think he was thinking, oh, he's open right now. He won't be if I take too much time.
Elowich back deep to return this punt from Yannick Lutska on 4th down. Lutska booms it away. Elowich will have to back up to the 35. He'll let it bounce right there at the 35-yard line. It takes a little bit of a Oxford Hills bounce to the 33. And that's where Portland will take over, 1st and 10. Well, can the defense get off the field now is the question, because the offense unfortunately went 3 and out. And there's 43 seconds left 3rd quarter, and the Bulldogs have a 3-point lead, 17-14, and they have the ball. So, they had a 9-minute, I believe it was 34-second touchdown drive to start the second half to take a 3-point lead. Sam Nope, his second rushing touchdown of the game for Portland. And now the Bulldogs have a chance to run some more time off the clock, to be frank, as they now have a lead. And the ball. See what the Viking defense can do. I formation. Nope under center. And we have a whistle. And a dead ball foul, a false start on Portland, I believe. Near side official is trying to communicate with it is a false start.
I guess all I had to do was say it out loud.
Clearly, the league officials are listening on the video feed somehow. I don't know. On the
radioed into the refs.
Yeah. The league office back in Augusta. No.
Right.
All right, so they move them back now to the 28-yard line after the false start. 1st and 15 for Portland with 42.7 seconds remaining. 3rd quarter, Bulldogs leading by a score of 17-14. Nope under center. Elowich goes in motion, but the handoff goes up the gut for Trefethen, and he doesn't have much room. Bottom of that pile was David Dingley. And I'll bring up 2nd and long, still behind the sticks here. When Portland struggled in the first half, it was penalties and losses of yards on bad snaps, although they've avoided the shotgun pretty much ever since then. Nope, under center in the eye this time. The pitch to Elowich, running far side, and Elowich weaving his way through that defense like he does so well, right across the 35 to the 36-yard line. However, it's going to bring up 3rd and about 7 on the other side of this break. The 3rd quarter is over. We're going to have a great 4th quarter for you coming up. At the end of 3, Portland 17, Oxford Hills 14, here on 96.9 Ox Country. Find the video feed at mbr.org.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR Game of the Week between Oxford Hills and Portland. On the radio side of things, this is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Your fourth quarter video stream on MBR.org is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. The score is Portland 17, Oxford Hills 14. And the down is 3rd down and 7 for Portland as they are at their own 36-yard line right now to open the fourth quarter of action.
You know, I just noticed that Austin Dowdy has ice on his knee and he's actually standing on crutches.
Crutch, yeah. And that definitely hurts the defense and the offense.
Yeah.
He's such a big player on that line, so that's a tough loss, at least for this game. Nope, under center on 3rd down. Takes a snap, the pitch to Elowitz, trying to find a hole far side. Elowitz trying to stretch that defense, and he is denied. First man there, Marcus Stone, and then the cavalry came for the Vikings. That'll bring up 4th down. Huge play for Oxford Hills. He stopped at the 35. Rare punt.
When they can string that toss play out and not allow him to make a cut up the field, that's perfect. That's exactly what they want.
Elowitz to punt it. Bonang is back deep at his own 35. A little bit of a high snap, and Elowitz reels it in. High, short kick. Vikings need to be careful. That ball's going to bounce and take a little bit of a Portland hop. It's going to land right at midfield. It's going to be terrific field possession for Oxford Hills. That's a tricky one, though, Tasker, because that could fall down and hit somebody.
Right. We saw Bonnie Eagle last week look like they were intentionally trying to kick it into the backs of the return team.
That time, though, it was not intentional.
Right. Yeah, that was not intentional. That was a high short one.
Yeah, Elowitz did not get good foot on that one at all. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings just across midfield in Portland territory, trailing by 3 with 11:16 to go in the game. Colton Carson looking to rally here on senior night at the Guan Athletic Complex. 3 wide receivers. He's in shotgun. LaFrance in the backfield with them. Carson to run it. Off left tackle, got a lead block from LaFrance, and he's tackled out across the 47 down to near the 46-yard line of Portland, brings up 2nd down. There's a power run for 4 yards for Colton Carson. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Vikings at the 46-yard line. Bonang will check in for Lutska. Bonang already has an interception today on defense, his 3rd and last 2 games. 3 wide receivers here. Bonang in the slot. Turner on the near side. Carson in the gun again with LaFrance the back. Carson takes a snap. Back to pass. He's looking for Turner on the slant. Turner's got it at the 40. Dragging tacklers 35. Still on his feet down to the 34-yard line. Alex Turner on the catch and run for a 1st down. Bonang got up and hugged him, I think, just so Turner wouldn't maybe taunt the other team. I saw Turner. I was watching the video replay of the Bonnie Eagle game. He likes to talk out there.
I told you that. Yeah, I said that.
He was talking after Bonnie Eagle had scored a touchdown. He actually clapped his hands saying, "Oh, good job, guys."
Yeah.
So Bonang was just kind of hugging him, saying, "All right, great play. Let's keep going.
Let's get back to the huddle. Let's get back to the huddle."
Down to the 34 went Turner, 1st and 10. Put a man in motion. That's Lutska this time. Carson takes a snap. He's looking that way towards Lutska. Now he's in some trouble. Carson escapes. And he'll dump it off. Oh, he might have been able to run it that time. He tried to dump it off to Pruitt. It's incomplete.
Yeah.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I know how Michael Bonang's feeling with the having to corral Turner, because that was me last year. On the defensive side, at least, I was the one having to pull him off people and drag him back to the huddle.
Carson was talking a little with Kakoa Farnsworth after that play. Farnsworth was in hot pursuit. Defensive lineman, 6'1", 240 for the Portland Bulldogs, one of their better players. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Pruitt, the receiver on the far side. Bonang in the slot. 3 wide receivers. LaFrance to the right of Colton Carson in the shotgun on 2nd and 10 from the 34 of Portland. Bonang goes in motion, and we have a whistle. And it's going to be a dead ball penalty. Probably a false start, or maybe it's offsides. Let's see. Dead ball, offside. Yep. So that'll move them up 5 yards. Viking fans love it. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 5 instead of 2nd and 10. That should move them to the 29-yard line of Portland. Well, we've got 9:58 to go in the game. Oxford Hills trails 17-14, but they have the ball deep in Portland territory at the 29-yard line. It's 2nd and 5 for the Vikings. 3 wide receivers, Bonang in the slot to the right. Carson in the gun, puts Bonang in motion. Carson will run it, gets a block, and there's a flag on the play. That might be a hold. And he doesn't get much, maybe a yard, and the hold will probably bring him back. That's in the area of holding, I should say. No signal yet, though.
Oh. Doesn't.
Yeah, it's holding on the Vikings. Typically when you see the umpire throw it like that,
right
where he's at, it's holding. Sometimes you might get a hands to the face on the defense, but that's kind of rare.
Jerry, I'm just hearing Oxford Hills coach yelling to Jerry, one of the refs, but I don't think it was Jerry that made the call.
No, yeah, he's just the guy who has to signal the call.
Right.
So they're back to the 38-yard line now. It's going to be 2nd down and, well, about, I suppose, 15. A little bit from the spot of the foul. So 2nd down and about 13 perhaps here. In any case, 2nd and long. They're behind the sticks. All right, Carson and shotgun here. Got 3 wide receivers. 2nd down and long for Oxford Hills. Back to pass. Carson's got a clean pocket. Nice throw. Nice pitch and catch. Not for a ton of yards, but they get some positive yardage back to Yannick Lutska. Just shy of the 30-yard line to the 31 goes Lutska. It'll bring up 3rd down and a manageable 3rd down now. Got some yards back.
About 3rd and 7, yeah.
Bonang will check in for Lutska, who made that grab. And now Soren saying, Lutska, you're still in the game. Worcester will check out instead. So, on 3rd down and 7, 4 wide receivers for the Vikings. LaFrance in the backfield. Portland showing blitz. They'll bring 1. Back to pass. Carson's got a clean pocket. Oh, nice catch. Pruitt on the far side. Right by the sticks. He's very close to a 1st down.
And they're gonna mark him way short. That was.
Well, let's see.
Whoa.
The 1st down marker fell down.
Yeah.
But he was out of bounds shy of that. So 4th down. Looks like a long 1 or maybe 2. It's tough to tell from our angle.
Yeah, it is.
He's down to about the 25, just shy of the 25-yard line. Nice pitch and catch, though, along the far sideline to Johnny Pruitt, who has that 53-yard touchdown reception. 8:43 to go in the game. Vikings trail by 3, and a massive 4th down here. 4th and short. LaFrance the back, 3 wide receivers. Lutska in the slot. It's Colton Carson on the power play. Falls forward. Tackle was made by Grant Crosby, but Carson falls forward and he gets the 1st down. Nicely done. Colton Carson inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. That's a good play to run on 4th and 2, right? Just QB power.
Right.
And Colton Carson, with his 6'5" frame, can get you those 2 yards you need.
Yeah, just let Colton fall down. He'll probably get it.
Bonang in the slot. Turner split out wide to the right. 3 wide receivers here, 2 to the left. LaFrance in the backfield. It's Colton Carson in shotgun on 1st and 10. Bonang goes in motion. Carson to run it again after the fake on the sweep. Instead, it's a QB power, and Carson a physical run. Crosby in on the stop, but not before Carson gets some positive yards out of that, down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, QB power for a reason. He kept his legs going and pushed a D end back for about a 4-yard gain.
Boy, that poor sideline, the walking wounded. Emerson Brown down there, Austin Dowdy, Cam Slicer. I was going to say we haven't seen Brown today, and you can see why. He's got something under his arms. I'm not sure.
He's wearing someone's varsity jacket.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm assuming his arms are just cold from standing on the
Yeah, I got
sideline,
you. That's his jacket that he's wearing. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
3 wide receivers on 2nd down at the 20-yard line of Portland. Lutska in motion. There's a pitch. Parker LaFrance, and this time Portland read it. Remember, they had the pitch to the near side that resulted in a touchdown. That time the Bulldogs read it quite well, and LaFrance gets maybe a yard inside the 20 down on the 19-yard line, brings up 3rd down.
Maybe if Colton could give a little fake pitch, take a step inside, he might be able to get something big on that.
Bonang will check in for Worcester. Vikings trail by 3 with 7:03 to go in the game. Oxford Hills football, it's 3rd and 7 from about the 19. Carson in the gun on 3rd down. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, throws over the middle. Luchka with the catch. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Oxford Hills, 20 yards. Carson Luchka.
Is that a flag?
I see a flag on the far side of the field.
Oh, no.
Portland's pointing at it. The refs are talking things over. Here's the call. It's holding on Oxford Hills. And Yannick Luchka's 20-yard touchdown is wiped off the board.
It's actually quite funny. They've started to call a lot of holding calls on Oxford Hills, but they've let Portland get away with it all game, every play, pretty much their whole line if you watch. Not only are their running backs false starting on almost every play, but their line is – they're just really good at getting away with things, and they're holding quite often too.
And the tough thing about this is it's back to the 35-yard line, so they're not in field goal range either. They're down by 3, remember, and it's 3rd and a mile now after that hold.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a chunk here so that they get into field goal range, I'd say. That's the best way to do it.
3rd down and long. Yeah, you can get a few yards. Well, you need about maybe 10 to get in field goal range. But here we go. 3rd and long. Carson to pass. Under pressure. Steps up to run, and he is tackled from behind. Good play that time by Christopher Vincent, chasing him down. And now you have a 4th down at the 33, and you need to get to like the 14 or maybe even a 13. Tough to tell from this angle, but you need to get quite a ways here, and you're not in field goal range. Not much you can. This is a tough play call. You could take a shot for the end zone, maybe.
I guess, yeah. I'd say that's probably what they're going to have to do. Because if you try to get the 1st down, you're pretty much.
It's tough.
Right.
You're risking getting picked off. All right, 3 wide receivers, 4th down and a mile. Oh, they're going to set up a screen pass, and LaFrance drops it. Turnover on downs. Portland football with 5:50 to go in the game. What a turn of events. It looked like they had the go-ahead touchdown to Yannick Luchka. Instead, a holding call brought it back, and they couldn't get anything from that. And now the defense will need to answer. I mean, this game obviously still anyone's ball game. It's a 3-point game, but Portland could run out the clock entirely with the way their offense functions. 5:50 to go in the game. 1st and 10.
Soren's talking to the ref again.
He wants an explanation about the holding call, I'm sure.
Yeah, they've been awful throughout this game, so I'm not surprised that he's asking. Really, something needs to be done about Maine high school refs. They need to clean house and rehire because they've been awful the past few years.
Reminder, the 4th quarter video stream is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. And this 4th quarter getting a little tense if you're a Viking fan after a very promising drive ended on a turnover on downs after they looked like they had a touchdown called back by a holding call. And it's Portland football now with 5:50 to go, and the Bulldogs leading by 3. Can the Viking defense come up big here on this drive? Nope, puts Elowich in motion and takes a snap. Handoff Elowich, running far side, and Elowich drives his way across the 40.
Yeah, that's not the kind of stuff you want to give up if you want to stay in this game.
Luchka on the stop, but an 8-yard run by Elowich brings up 2nd down. And about 2 yards to go, maybe 3. The loss of Dowdy, especially felt, I think, right now. What he can do on defense and offense on that line. 2nd down and short for Nope and the Bulldogs. Elowich in motion again. Handoff Elowich up the middle, and Elowich will have a 1st down to the 44-yard line. If you're Oxford Hills, though, I imagine you're going for the strip. They forced a number of fumbles today. Well, and Portland's just plain fumbled it a couple times themselves. That's a possibility. The problem, though, is when they're good, and they have been good in the second half, they can really kill that clock. And there's 5 minutes to go now in the game. And the Vikings trail by 3. Again, they'll still be first in the heel points even if they do lose this game, but it'll be a lot closer, certainly. And Portland would have a lot of confidence going into the postseason. First and 10.
If you're Oxford Hills, at what point do you start using your
timeouts?
Yeah.
Right. They hand off Elowich off right tackle, and
maybe here, I'd say.
maybe a yard, yeah. Now 2nd and 9. That's a good tackle on first down. They're going to let the clock run, though. 4:24 to go in the game. 2nd and short. If Soren, I mean, if he'd love to force a 3 and out here and then have those timeouts for offensive purposes.
Yeah.
But
the more you let it run down, the
another first down could really be trouble. 2nd down and 8 at the 45 for the Bulldogs. Nope puts Elowich in motion. Inside handoff Trefethen, and that's a good stop. Nicely done by the Vikings. There was nowhere to go for Trefethen. It looked like diving in there was Travis May. He got a yard. 3rd down. This is a huge 3rd down, although, well, this is interesting because if Portland does not convert this, it probably depends on how many yards they get, because you could try to pin the Vikings or you could try to go for it in this situation. But first things first, 3rd down at the Portland 46, about the 47 almost, right between those 2 hash marks. We have a flag on the play. Oh, no, sorry, that's a piece of grass. Anyway, that's a timeout called by Portland. There's some weird mark on the field, right on the 34 there. But in any case.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, I thought it was a flag for a second. It was right by the ref. But no, it's timeout Portland with 3:20 to go in the game. We'll keep it right here. Portland leads 17-14, and if you just joined us, well, Oxford Hills had a 14-10 lead at halftime. Portland got the ball to start the second half, and then 9 minutes and 34 seconds later, Portland scored a touchdown on a Sam Nope 2-yard run to take the lead. Now, the Vikings got the ball back, obviously on the ensuing kickoff. They drove down the field themselves. Looked like they had a touchdown. Yannick Lutska over the middle. Called back because of holding. That put them way behind the sticks, and they ended up turning the ball over on downs. That's where we are right now. It's Portland football leading the Vikings 17-14 with 3:20 to go in the game. And a huge 3rd down and 8 from their own 46 for Portland out of this timeout.
Biggest play of the season for the Vikings defense.
Nope, under center. On 3rd and 8. Puts Elowich in motion. He'll fake the handoff to Elowich and roll to his left. Nope, still rolling. Being chased by Jay. Jay Worcester. There's a flag on the play. LaFrance with a tackle. Another flag comes flying in. He's obviously nowhere near a first down. There are 2 flags on the field. And not to sort this one out. He was tackled at the 46. LaFrance got him. Worcester was pursuing.
Now he's... See, this is the thing that also bugs me is if... Number 17 for Portland, he's talking to a ref trying to explain himself.
He's a freshman. Yep.
Yeah.
Grant Crosby.
If that was an Oxford Hills player trying to do that with a ref, they would say, yeah, go back to your huddle. We're going to...
Personal foul on Portland.
I'd say it was a block in the back or...
Well, that's something worse than a block in the back, I think. But,
oh, yeah.
Parker LaFrance, who you say knows the game of football better than anybody, will decide now do they want to accept or decline. Because if you decline it, it's 4th down. Yeah, they're going to decline it because they don't want Portland to have another play. They want downs are very important right now. Time is very important.
Right.
So they decline it. It's 4th down, and it's 4th down and about, what, 8 yards to go, or 10 yards to go, actually. So it's a punt situation. So
right.
Smart move to decline it. They're not going to go for it here. Elowich to punt. Bonang is back deep at his own 25.
Watch out for some Zach Elowich trickery here, though.
It's actually 4th and 8, but in any case, they are punting. Oh, they got to get Pruitt off the field. They do.
Ooh, don't scare us like that.
Yeah, that was close. And now Elwich just kind of standing there waiting.
They're going to run it down as far as they can.
Here's a snap. A little high, but he gets it. And he gets the punt away cleanly. Fair catch, Bonang. Probably a smart move. Charges up and gets to it. He doesn't want that one to bounce at the 28-yard line, and that's where the Vikings will take over. Well, there's a flag on the play. There's a flag at the Oxford Hills 47. The way Portland's talking to him, it looks like it might be on Portland, but we'll see. You never know. All right, 17, Crosby. He's a big kid. He's listed at 5'10", 176, but I think he might be a little bigger.
He likes to try to plead his case to the refs, too. That doesn't work, or at least never did for me.
Yeah, and now once again, Parker LaFrance is going to ask what's going on. We got another personal foul and another one on Portland. From the end of the run, it'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down. So that's big. That's going to be nice field position for Oxford Hills after that personal foul call. With 2:41 to go in the game. So from the end of the play, that's going to be 43-yard line, it should be at least, for Oxford Hills. Yeah, 1st and 10 from their own 43, down by 3, 2:41 to go.
3 timeouts.
Yep, they got them all. They haven't used any, I don't think. All right. This is this is down to the wire. Colton Carson and that offense. They've got 2 minutes and 41 seconds to work with, starting at their own 43-yard line. He's got 3 wide receivers, and Parker LaFrance to his left in the backfield on 1st and 10. Colton Carson takes the snap, back to pass. LaFrance in the flat, incomplete, threw it behind him. 2nd and 10. That's not a play they've run a lot this year, although you said you're surprised by that.
Yeah, that was one thing we talked about earlier, that trying to get Parker LaFrance the ball through the air out of the backfield.
Certainly, as it's now 2nd down and 10 from their own 43-yard line with 2:38 to go. Down by 3.
Now they only need a field goal.
Right, that's true, although field goals they're kind of rare in high school, but we saw Lutska hit a 35-yarder last week.
Mm-hmm.
4 wide receivers, pardon me. The slot receivers are Bonang and Lutska. 4 wide receivers on 2nd down and 10. Carson in the gun. Takes a snap, back to pass. Throws deep down the far side, overthrown, incomplete, intended for Pruitt. And that was closer, unfortunately, to Zach Elowitz than to Johnny Pruitt. And that will bring up 3rd and 10.
I think it's going to be holding on the defense.
I didn't see. Oh, the flag is in the secondary.
Yeah, it was.
Call. Maybe that's why Pruitt wasn't near the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe he was held. It is on Portland. Holding on the defense.
Yeah.
Is that a 5-yarder or a 10-yarder in high school? Well, we'll find out right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, I don't know.
In one level, that's like a 10-yarder.
Yeah.
And that should be a first down then.
Yep.
Because it was 10 yards to go. They hadn't moved the ball at all.
What are they?
They haven't moved the sticks yet, but that absolutely is a first down.
Yeah, how could it not be?
They hadn't moved the ball. You got to move the chains, folks.
This is ridiculous. What's going on
There's no
here?
reason to measure. It was the first play was incomplete, and it's a 10-yard penalty. Now,
2 incomplete passes.
The spot of the ball, well, it was in the secondary, so if it's 10 yards from the spot, it should be even more than 10 yards.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. They don't even know what they're doing.
It's going to be a first down. It's just a matter of where they spot the ball here. If it's 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, obviously it's a first down. If 10 yards from the spot of the foul, it's going to be further along. I think that's what they're talking about, is where the penalty was committed. Oxford Hills might actually get more yards here. It is obviously a first down.
Yeah, that was they shouldn't have even had to.
Self-explanatory for anyone who knows how to add 10.
Oh, my goodness.
Addition, subtraction, you know.
This is the stuff I'm talking about.
Well, and they gave it from the line of scrimmage. They didn't give it from the spot. Anyway, 10-yard penalty, first down, Oxford Hills. 4 wide receivers. They're in Portland territory now at the 48. Takes a snap. Back to pass. Has time in the pocket. Throws it deep down the near side. Turner makes the catch, but he's out of bounds. Incomplete. Well, nice play by Turner, but he was out. Good throw by Carson. I mean, he threw it for only Turner could get it, which is what you want to do there. It's just, it's a tough play. It's a deep ball down the near side. So it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. With 2:28 to go. Down by 3. They got the first down on the holding call on defense. 4 wide receivers here for Carson. Second down 10. Takes a snap. Back to pass. Going to throw it. Oh, he missed Lutzka, and it was nearly intercepted. Jamal Mariba had that go off his chest.
Oof.
He was looking for Lutzka and missed him entirely, and it went right into the chest of Mariba. Mariba was not looking for the ball, I think, and he was looking at his man he was guarding, and the ball all of a sudden hit him, and he was like, oh, man, I could have had that. So that's certainly a break for Oxford Hills that was not picked off as it hit him right in the numbers. 3rd and 10 now for Colton Carson and the Vikings. 4 wide receivers in the shotgun. On 3rd down, takes a snap, back to pass, looking left, still looking, fires, intercepted this time, reeled in by Portland. It was Elowich, I believe, on the pick. And it is going to be Portland football.
2:19 left, 3 timeouts.
You got all your timeouts left. There's no doubt. Carson, I think,
over.
A little too much zip on some of these passes. It was overthrown again. That time, Elowich made a leaping catch for the pick. Well, they're up against it a little bit, but they have all their timeouts, as you mentioned. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs with 2:19 to go in the game.
Yeah, they're going to need a 3-and-out here. No doubt about it.
Viking defense looking to step up again. They got a 3-and-out earlier, or close to one at least. We have a whistle and
delay of game.
Wow, Portland gets called for delay of game. Maybe a little too much celebration after the pick. I don't know, but
hey, that's good,
not
though.
That's not what Portland wanted.
Right.
That's for sure. That's good for Oxford Hills. That'll move them back 5 yards. As really time is the enemy right now for the Vikings. They trail by 3 with 2:19 to go in the game.
You could get the ball back if you get a 3-and-out with just under 2 minutes left, really.
So it's going to be 1st and 15. And we have a whistle. And Oxford Hills called timeout because I guess the clock was going to keep moving. Oh, they ran it. Pardon me, I missed it on there. Sorry, folks. They didn't get much yardage there. As a 3, I was dealing with some tech things up here. We're all good, though. So short yards, timeout now called for by the Vikings. 2:14 to go in the game. A 2-yard gain on that run, by the way, by Portland. So it's 2nd and 13 now for Portland, and Oxford Hills calling it time. And they'll have 2 timeouts to work with, and they'll have 2 downs to hopefully, for the Vikings, at least, to stop Portland here. Well, I mean, let's say Oxford Hills does stop Portland, when they had the ball, I mean, what's Carson got to do? Because obviously he looked a little excited maybe on that last drive. Some throws were a little bit overthrown, I thought.
I'd say don't go for the end zone every play. He's going for the long shot and just hit routes on the sideline. Let him get out of bounds.
First, the defense has to do their job, and so far they have. It's 2nd down and 13 to go for Portland from their own 30-yard line, up by 3. The pitch to Elowich. And Elowich is pursued and dropped. He did stay in bounds, and so Oxford Hills will quickly call timeout again with 2:07 to go in the game. It is 17-14 in favor of Portland. If you just joined us, the go-ahead touchdown was scored by Sam Nope on a 2-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter. In the 3rd quarter that saw Portland have the ball for 9 minutes and 34 seconds to start the 3rd quarter. And Nope ended up scoring the touchdown. He has 2 touchdown runs today. They also have a field goal. And that field goal came at the end of the first half, and that is the difference in the game right now. It's 17-14 Portland. The 2 touchdowns for Oxford Hills, big plays. Parker LaFrance, 42-yard touchdown run, and Johnny Pruitt, 53-yard touchdown reception from Colton Carson. So it's very, very different styles, certainly, and Portland trying to grind out a win here. It's 3rd down, though, and 8 from their own 35-yard line for the Bulldogs. Out of this timeout with 2:07 to go in the game. Massive 3rd down, obviously. If they can get a 1st down, it might clinch the game. It's Elowich. Elowich will be stopped short, and the Vikings will use their final timeout. with 2:03 to go. He is stopped at the 41. So it's going to be 4th and about 3. So if you're Portland, you could go for it, and if you make it, the game's over. You just take knees.
Right.
Or you could punt and try to pin Oxford Hills, because if you go for it and you don't make it, all of a sudden Oxford Hills has a very short field to work with. So for Portland, this is a big decision for them. You've trusted Elowich, you've trusted Nope all season. Do you trust them for this 4th down, or I think you probably do, honestly. I think you probably give it to Elowich again. Get him 3 yards.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do.
Especially with Dowdy not in the game.
Right.
This is the time you really wish you had Dowdy on his 4th and 3 coming up. They're at the 41. They need to get to the 44 on 4th down. If the Vikings can get this stop, though, you got yourself a very interesting finish. But if Portland can convert a 1st down, this one's basically over. Here we go, 4th down. They're going for it.
They got to watch out for that misdirection play, too.
Yep, I formation. Elowich to tail. Trefethan the fullback. Nope under center. 4th down and 3. This is the ball game right here. And we have a whistle. And did they call a false start? Or no, Portland's clapping.
No, had to be a false start.
I saw, well, let's see what they called. Dead ball. False start. You were right. I thought for a second Nope was clapping. You saw it.
I was clapping. I didn't.
You were clapping.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So it's now 4th and 8. And Elowich is getting ready to punt it.
That changes the game a lot.
What a massive false start. And the Vikings are going to get the ball back, it appears, with 2:03 to go. Bonang is back deep for this punt return. Elowich to punt it. We got ourselves a crazy finish to this one. Here's the punt from Elowich.
Oh, nearly blocked.
Fair catch immediately from Bonang, and he makes it at the 34-yard line. Colton Carson will have 1:58 to try to rally his troops here on senior night and get the Vikings a come from behind victory, or at least perhaps force overtime. They trail by 3 with no timeouts. 1:58 to go. This is tough because you don't have any timeouts to work with. Not a ton of time either. Got to get out of bounds. They'll probably give you the middle of the field, but can you take advantage of it?
See, one thing that we work on a lot, especially on Thursday night practices before games like this, is we start at the 20 and we would run 2-minute drills. We'd run 3 or 4 of them every Thursday night.
There you go. Let's see if it pays off. 4 wide receivers. LaFranche in the backfield. Carson in the gun. 1st and 10. Takes a snap. Back to pass. Under pressure. He escapes. Carson looking to run it now, and he's unable to be a defender. He does get positive yards out of it. Good open field tackle by Grant Crosby. Carson got about 3, but they need much more than that with that clock winding down. 1:40 to go. But he escaped a possible sack. Trips to the right here on 2nd down and 7. Takes a snap. Back to pass. Clean pocket this time. Wide open. Oh, it's off the hands of Worcester. And incomplete. Worcester down the seam was open. It hit him about shoulder high, and he couldn't reel it in. He looked a little surprised that ball got to him as quickly as it did, I thought.
Yep. That was, and you could see Colton Carson before the play with his hand signals. That's that smash concept that they were running. And it looked, J.J. Worcester was open, but it also looked like Yannick Lucia was open on the corner route too. So they might come back to that. Especially a corner route is a great one in a 2-minute drill because you can get out of bounds really easily once you catch it.
Trips to the right. 4 wide receivers, 3rd and 7, 1:30 to go in the game. Vikings trail by 3. We have a whistle, and Portland calls timeout, I believe. No. One of their defenders has an issue with his jersey, and that's their star player. That's Kapongo. And they're making him come out of the game for this next for the next snap at least. And now Portland does call timeout.
They called a timeout just so he wouldn't have to stay out for a play, I guess.
He had a chin strap issue or something. He's now coming back to the official and saying, how am I doing? Am I good to go here? All right, so Portland uses a timeout. 1:30 to go in the game. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for Oxford Hills. They're at their own about 30, well, I'd say 7-yard line, I would say. They need to get to the 44 for a 1st down. And obviously it's 4-down situation here, so you don't have to get all 7 here, but it would be nice if you did, if you're Oxford Hills, because they don't have a whole lot of time on that clock. 1:30 and no timeout. If you get a 1st down, the clock at least stops to move the chains.
Right.
All right. Remember that middle of the field Might be someone open. It was for Worcester. He just couldn't reel it in. Third and 7.
Now they've got Michael Bonang where J.J. Worcester was. Maybe they'll run him up the seam.
4 wide receivers, strips to the right on 3rd and 7 for Carson. Takes a snap, back to pass. Same route, and it's overthrown. Intended for Bonang, it was too high. Lutska saying I'm open again.
He's been open both
nearly
times.
intercepted by Stasium that time as Carson just put too much mustard on it. Bonang, nothing he could do about that one. They had him, though. He was there. That route was there. 4th and 7, a minute 26 remaining, and if they don't convert this play for a first down, Portland will pull off the victory. So it's a do or die right now for Oxford Hills on senior night. 4th and 7. Trips to the right, same formation. They've had the guy down the seam twice on this drive, and Portland's going to talk it over. Timeout, again, called by the Bulldogs, as I'm sure their defensive coaches are like, well, the guys have been open down that seam. They've just gotten lucky that one was dropped and the other was overthrown.
Right, yeah, they've had the advantage every time because there's high safety in the middle, and then well, he's not really in the middle. He's kind of more shaded away from trips, and then there's the one directly over the trips, and then the corner who's playing up press, and an outside backer who's pressing and then coming off and covering the flat. So if you send 2 guys deep like they did on that seam corner combination, that safety is going to have to choose, and you can throw an easy pass to either one of those wide open receivers depending on which way he goes.
It's been a nail biter the whole game. The Vikings originally trailed 7-0, then they led 14-7, then they led 14-10, and they trail 17-14 right now. A minute 26 to go. No timeouts. 4th and 7, do or die right here from their own 36-yard line. Carson with trips to the right, 4 wide receivers on 4th down. Takes the snap, back to pass, has time, fires high, incomplete. He was looking for Alex Turner, and it was overthrown. Turner jumped as high as he could, but he could not reel it in. Turnover on downs, and that'll do it. A minute 22 left. All Portland has to do is take a couple knees right here, leading 17-14. A little lower, and maybe Turner has a chance there, but could not quite make the leaping grab. And nope. We'll go into victory formation here for Portland. Takes a snap, takes a knee.
Well, at least we know if we see these 2 teams again in the North A Championship, it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it's this was very evenly matched, I would say. The difference was Portland was able to just methodically drive down that field. I mean, just their 2 touchdown drives were incredibly long, like over 8 minutes, both of them. And Oxford Hills had 2 big plays, and actually that field goal at the very end of the half ended up being the difference in terms of the margin. Obviously, it was not the game-winning kick. The game winner was the touchdown run by Nope. But Oxford Hills gets shut out in the second half by that Portland defense, as Nope takes another knee with 35 seconds left here. Portland, they won't be first in the heel points after tonight, but they get a pretty big win, I would say. The Bulldogs come into Oxford Hills and spoil the Vikings senior night here at the Gawai Athletic Complex as they defeat Oxford Hills by a final score of 17-14, as Portland improves to 6-1 on the year. Their lone loss to Bonnie Eagle. Oxford Hills falls to 5-2 on the season. Their losses now to Sanford on the road, and their first home loss of the year here tonight to Portland. These 2 teams, I have a feeling, might be meeting again come playoff time. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
Ortho Access is an orthopedic walk-in clinic, and it's the only one in the state of Maine. It's designed to sort of meet patients where they are, so meet our patients and our community's needs.
I bring the patients in and I'll do the initial triage, kind of get their history of what happened, determine what body part hurts, and figure out what medications they're on, kind of their background information. Once I get that information, I'll talk with the provider and determine whether they need imaging.
I'll go in the room, examine the patient, we'll review the x-rays together, and then decide if the patient needs blood work or further imaging like an MRI, which is easy because we have MRI right here. It's very convenient for people. Or any splinting, casting, we do that all right here as well. So people tend to be pretty happy with sort of everything in one place.
We'll see fractures, so we see plenty of broken bones, and it's a lot of extremities, so a lot of foot, ankle, and wrist injuries. We see plenty of people who are coming in because they're worried that they have something big or they have a broken bone. And so we're here sort of for reassurance a lot of times that they don't.
We see tons of athletes right off of the field. A lot of the local athletic trainers are really good about sending their patients right here instead of sending them to the emergency room and saving them a wait, which is nice. And they can kind of get everything all at once. They can get their x-rays, they can get a brace or a cast if they need it, instead of having to go to multiple different locations.
So the youngest patient I've seen, I think, is probably 18 months. And then I think I've seen a 99-year-old in ortho access. So you can imagine they're coming in with really different problems. Might be a slip on the ice. We've seen a ton of that recently. Or it might be they were at the trampoline park, twisted their ankle, or it might be a football injury where they fell and twisted their knee. We cut out the middleman, so to speak, so they could get right into OA, get x-rays if they need that, and either get the treatment that they need right off the bat or kind of high-level triage and get them to the next best provider who really should see them.
So usually we are the busiest right when we open, and then later on in the day it usually slows down a bit and the wait time is significantly less. We've had people start at the ER and they have left because they're so frustrated and come here and are in and out within an hour, which is nice.
It does feel good. I mean, patients say, wow, this is great. This is a lot better than sitting in the waiting room in an emergency room where usually there's a ton of orthopedic issues that come into ERs and most of them are not going to be urgent. So they're going, naturally they're going to be waiting a longer period. So yeah, it does feel good.
By a final score of 17-14 as we welcome you back in on the video feed as well there at MBR.org here in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Again, 17-14, Portland winners. Our Goodwin Chevy player of the game. Got to give it to one of the guys up front. I thought Marcus Stone played a heck of a game. He was in the middle of a lot of tackles, had a big fumble recovery as well. The defense, I mean, they gave up the 2 long touchdown drives and that field goal, but you hold Portland to 17 points, you're doing okay, considering they scored 49 against Wyndham, 37 against Cheverus, Bonnie Eagle held them to 7, but anyway, 28 against Lewiston, 42 against Edward Little, and 49 against Bangor. So this is the third time this year they've been held under 40 points, and it is the second time this year they've been held under 20 points, certainly this season. So only Bonnie Eagle did a better job defensively in terms of points against Portland than Oxford Hills did, certainly here tonight. Unfortunately, that offense, though, Tasker got shut out in the second half by Portland. Part of that was, though, because Portland held on the ball for almost the whole third quarter.
Right, yeah. The time of possession, I don't know exactly what it is, but Portland had to be
yes.
Yeah, at least double.
Yeah. So, again, Marcus Stone played really well. A bunch of tackles and fumble recovery as well. He's a young guy. He's a sophomore, so we'll be hearing a lot more, I think, from Marcus Stone before he's done here at Oxford Hills Comprehensive High School. Vikings do lose this one by a score of 17-14. They'll still be first in the heel points if my math is correct come Monday, but so still well on their way to a first round bye, obviously, in the playoffs. But Portland does end up getting this win. We'll take another break. We'll come back and wrap things up here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex. Video feed at MBR.org. This is Ox Country.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors. We're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. We're live on Ox Country, video feed at MBR.org. This one all wrapped up, though. Portland upends Oxford Hills on the Vikings senior night here at the Gwinnett Athletic Complex by a final score of 17-14. Next week, Portland will be hosting their bitter rival, South Portland, in a rivalry contest at Fitzpatrick Stadium at 7 o'clock. And next week, Oxford Hills will wrap up their regular season at Wyndham. And boy, it's been a rough year for last year's state runner-ups. Wyndham is 0-6, and you only get 1 point if you beat them in the Hill Points. So, obviously, the Hill Points, South Portland, and Portland, it could be very close when it's all said and done there, because Portland just gained a lot. They're not in first yet, but they gained a lot on Oxford Hills here tonight with this particular 17-14 victory over the Vikings. Tasker, any final thoughts on this game?
Well, I think it was a great game, close game. These are two pretty evenly matched teams. And good luck to Portland going into next week. And I know already that at least Colton Carson, because I've talked to him about it, he's pretty happy about going to Wyndham for the last week of the regular season. So looking forward to that next week.
There you have it. So the Vikings are 5-2. The Bulldogs are 6-1. Thanks to Tyler for running the camera on the video feed. Thanks to John back in studio at Ox Country running the board. Thanks to Matty B for helping us set up. He's Tasker Winslow. My name's Aaron Morris. Once again, the final score, Portland 17, Oxford Hills 14. Have a good rest of your Friday night.